And welcome back to Husky Stadium. I'd like to say a special hello to all our viewers joining us now from the St. Louis metro area in St. Louis. Glad to have you on board. State championship football here in DeKalb has been fantastic. You've missed a good one. Williamsville beating Byron 46-42 in an unbelievable game where records, they just flew by the wayside tonight. Unbelievable, fantastic competitive fire on the field, and of course great sportsmanship displayed as well. And Craig Anderson, of course the executive director of the IHSA, joins us. And what can you say after a game like that?
Well, that's what state champion football is all about. And, you know, a game like that just gives you chills to watch all that impact. And, you know, you feel for Byron and the great game they played, and to have it taken away from them late. But, you know, that's what it's about this time of year. You play until the last bell goes off, and they did. And Williamsville, to their credit, hung in there.
What have been your impressions of this first day of competition?
Well, I've been really impressed. You know, the caliber of football in Illinois is really top-notch. And even at these lower classes, the quality of players that we have earning, you know, scholarships at the lower levels, you know, it's fun to see this style of football, the level of football play still be top-notch in Illinois. And we're up for another good one here in this next game to finish out the night, and it's some really fantastic games for tomorrow.
No doubt about that. And of course, this is the fourth year that these championships have been held here in DeKalb, and I think the city has really embraced this championship flavor.
They really have, and they're doing a great job of hosting us here. The volunteers are outstanding, what they do with the Spirit Zone and the communities that come and really get the energy going. Even before they pass through the turnstiles into the stadium, the energy is already forming outside the stadium. So that's been really cool and a nice part of what the volunteers and the city of DeKalb and Sycamore and everybody in the area have made this a really exciting event.
It's really good to see the fans come out and just enjoy themselves, watch some great football, and support their home teams.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, and we're hoping to get more local fans out. You know, we know the weather's a little bit questionable, but boy, the energy that's in here, you don't feel the cold because the energy is so high, and the caliber and level of football is really, really good.
Talk a little bit about the IHSA, where you're going, your vision for the future.
Yeah, so we finished a strategic planning session a year ago, and we're really trying to put this association on a good financial, stable position. And then, you know, we're really trying to target areas of which we understand ourselves better, the community of the association and the different types of schools, the public schools, the non-boundaried schools, and, you know, just to get a perspective of one another. And, you know, things are different in Southern Illinois as they are in the city of Chicago versus the suburbs versus, you know, the western part of the state. And, you know, fortunately, we're getting to see just about all of that here at this tournament from so many different areas of the state, and that's what it's about.
Are you still having fun? You're the man in the hot seat. Are you still enjoying it?
I'm having a blast, yeah. You know, all of our championships I get to visit and be a part of. And, you know, pick the sport or activity that we offer. When we get to this level of competition, the student athletes and the coaches that coach them and the preparation they do to get them to this level, it's just really outstanding. I love being at this championship level. To see the talent that we have in this state is just awesome.
The talent is amazing. I'm just in awe. That last game, been doing this about 30 plus years. Best high school game I've ever seen, hands down. This was amazing.
It really was. And, you know, again, these are the kind of games that we like to see culminate in this experience at the end of the year. We're excited about that game and of those to come yet tonight and tomorrow.
All right. Well, Executive Director of the IHSA joining us, and that's Craig Anderson giving us his insight and his thoughts, and we appreciate the time.
Thanks for having me.
All right, we'll see you tomorrow. We've got to take a short break. We come back, we'll get you ready for some more fun going on here at NIU. That's Northern Illinois University. Husky Stadium. We'll be back in just a moment.
Well, everything we have is insured with Country Financial. Our home is insured with Country Financial.
Our cars.
All of our cars, all of our recreational vehicles. Our life is insured, and our liability is with Country Financial.
We keep in contact on a pretty regular basis and make sure that everything that they think they've got coverage for, they actually do.
My name is Jerome Burdett Jr. with Liuna, laborer working on a highway project.
My most memorable moment in high school would be playing our crosstown rival, and the play that came up was not drawn for me. However, time was ticking and the ball came around and I hit the shot, the crowd goes wild. But a lot of the things that people don't see is the hard work that goes into that, the time spent, the dedication. That same hard work and dedication is also displayed on our job sites. People may just pass by and briefly see us working and not quite understand everything that's going on, and it's basically relatable back to basketball and all the time spent in that people didn't see us practicing and going over things, and you see the end result and you're not quite sure how it got there. And without those key skills and values that I learned along the way with basketball, I would not be where I am today with the labor and Lyuna.
And once again, welcome back to DeKalb. We're standing by, getting ready for action in the Class 4A state championship game that's just a few minutes away. And I tell you what, if you had a chance to see that Class 3A game, you want to stick around for the 4A game as well, because who knows, the fireworks may still be in the air here in DeKalb once these youngsters get on the field and showcase their talents. Outstanding play so far on this day one. First day, I call it Championship Friday. I can't wait for Saturday, but we've still got one more game to go. And to get us ready for that next contest, let's go back up to the booth where Dave and tell you what, they're standing by having some fun with Mr. Mark Lindo as well. Gentlemen,
I'll tell you what, Tony, you say if you saw that 3A game, get ready for the 4A game. How about if you didn't see the 3A game? Let me recommend you go back in the NFHS network, or you buy a DVD, or somehow you get a look at this ball game, because it was absolutely spectacular in the second half. After a 9-touchdown first half, we got things rolling early on. Byron take the opening drive, 4 minutes and 18 seconds. There's Isaac Stickler for a 6-yard touchdown run. And this game belonged to Byron, as you see the touchdown run from Drake Snodgrass. This was in the fourth quarter. He went 28 yards for the score. It was 42-32 at this stage, but here comes Williamsville. 3.5 minutes to play in the game. And McCormick finds Bishop for 36 yards. That pulled them within 3. Looking for one more with 30 seconds left. There's your game-winning touchdown. The touchdown pass once again going to Brendan Bishop, and let the celebration begin on the field here of Husky Stadium, because Williamsville brings their first state championship trophy home to Central Illinois. You want numbers in this game? I should just step back and let you look at these. Let's start, Mark. Total yards, a record number by about 200 yards.
Yeah, that record number was actually obliterated in the first half alone, and then the numbers continue to pile up. You see what I talked about before the game. Only one turnover in the game. Williamsville able to overcome that. And the time of possession, Byron had that for quite a bit of the time, especially the third quarter. But Williamsville, enough plays down the stretch.
How about 445 yards rushing for Byron, and you come up short? It's because of the clutch plays from Williamsville. Truly a classic game, and then one it will take a long time for a lot of folks, not just Byron and Williamsville fans, but a lot of folks to forget.
Well, it was so much fun. It was fun to call. It was fun to watch. Just play after play, athlete after athlete. And any time you thought there was separation, boom, the next team came back and had offensive drive of its own. We had home run drives, 2 and 3 play drives. We had grinded out drives, a little bit of everything. There has to be when you have 1,000 yards plus of offense. How much fun was it? And can we cap it with a 4A title game tonight? I don't know.
I think we just stop where we are. We go on to the 4A game. But you know the thing that's interesting, when you have a game that has 1,100 yards and 80-plus points, it came down to a defensive stop for Williamsville that you said set up the drive of the history for Williamsville. It's a defensive stop on 4th down. So even though we have all these points and yards, it does come down to defense.
Well, and defense wins championships, right? I mean, that's a cliche, and they needed that stop. Otherwise, it's Katie bar the door. But then the 89-yard drive and the championship.
Okay, so we can take a deep breath. 3A is over. We enjoyed that one. We've got 4A coming up next. Stick around. We've got more. The final game of 4 here today from Husky Stadium. And it matches Richmond-Burton and Murphysboro and is coming your way next.
Heart of Illinois ABC, bringing you in-depth reporting.
I want to do the story because there are 800,000 people in Illinois that are in line to have their records cleared.
Reports you won't see anywhere else.
I talk to researchers and I talk to cheerleaders about how much intentional work is being done to protect athletes.
Stories important to you.
I hope the viewers understand the process of a seasonal forecast. It's very different than our 7-day forecast.
Heart of Illinois ABC, local, social.
We were both excited and nervous about choosing a college.
It's a big decision. We had a lot of questions before choosing Illinois State University. How will I make friends?
Where will I live? And who will I live with?
Where will I eat?
How will I survive without my dog?
Can I try something new?
Can I keep doing the things I love?
Whether you have specific questions or just need reassurance along the way, we're here to help.
Let's talk.
And once again, welcome back to Husky Stadium here on the campus of Northern Illinois University. It's Championship Friday here. More state championship action is on the way. In just a few moments, we have the Class 4A game coming up. Richmond-Burton taking on Murphysboro. The Red Devils will be in action. They are 11-2 on the season, taking on those 13-0 Rockets in what should be a fascinating game. But here's some scores from earlier today. Central A&M losing against Lena Winslow 58-20. That was our Class 1A game, championship game. Another great matchup. Nashville falling against Newman Central Catholic 35-14 in Class 2A. Game just completed. A barn burner. Williamsville and Byron with Williamsville winning their first state championship. 46-42 was that final. And again, as I just mentioned, Richmond-Burton 13-0 taking on Murphysboro 11-2. That's our Class 4A finale. That championship game should also be a barn burner as well. And we're going to take a short break. When we come back, we'll have more analysis and get you ready for what we think is going to be another showcase game in Class 4A in just a few moments right here in DeKalb. Don't go away.
Start your new year off with a new career with NECA IBEW. Earn as you learn as an apprentice in the electrical industry. NECA IBEW is now accepting applications from 9 to 4 on December 2nd through 7th. Each applicant will be interviewed prior to hire. As an electrical apprentice, you'll be highly paid, receive benefits, and get hands-on training in our 23,000 square foot training facility in Bartonville.
NECA IBEW has one of the best healthcare and pension plans in the industry. Your future starts here.
Apply now for this electrical apprenticeship.
There's no limit to what you'll do for her. You want her to explore, to dream, to grow. You're always amazed at what her little mind creates and where the depths of her imagination take her. At OSF Healthcare Children's Hospital of Illinois, they explore the boundaries of healthcare. They dream beyond today to care for the tiniest of babies and the most complex illnesses. OSF Children's Hospital, creating a world where kids can grow without limits.
So what would you say makes SIU Carbondale different?
Well, here at SIU, and
we're live. We're studying the past.
For the future.
Because learning is a science.
And an art form.
Education.
And experience. So that's a salute.
How's your checking account looking? Half full? Half empty? Low? It happens. Then payday rolls around and you're good. So why do banks charge a monthly fee if you don't keep a big minimum balance in your checking? At CEFCU, there's no minimum balance, no monthly fee. So you get everything you want. CEFCU, not a bank, better.
Today they compete with one goal: to be champions. This is where history is made. This is the 46th annual IHSA Football State Championships. Live from Northern Illinois University Husky Stadium, this is an IHSA television network production.
It is time for Game 4 of 4 here on Championship Friday, and we are in the 4A time zone. It is time for Richmond-Burton to take on Murphysboro for your Class 4A state title. And hi again, everybody. I'm Dave Bernhardt along with Mark Lindo. Happy you've joined us here tonight on a cold, brisk, and somewhat damp night here in DeKalb. What a special game this is, because, you know, Illinois is such an interesting state geographically. It is so long, and we're going to go all the way to the top, the northeast corner in Richmond-Burton, all the way to the southwestern corner in Murphysboro. Okay, so they're so far apart. Yet if we speak offense, Mark, we're going to talk some similarities. They both run the wing T.
A wing T, but a couple, Dave, different versions. Richmond-Burton will run the West Coast wing T. They'll throw the ball out of that. As far as Murphysboro, they'll throw it out of the pistol, their wing T. We'll see a lot of misdirection. We'll see a lot of running plays. We'll see the wing T, but with some wrinkles by each team.
You know, if we talk about a couple of players from each team, first of all, you're going to talk about running backs that are different in style. For Richmond-Burton, Dalton Wood.
Well, he's pretty special. 1,600 yards. He's an all-stater, a 5'10", 185. He's chiseled. Defensively, he's made 78 tackles, plays both ways. A difference maker, both sides of the football. Watch out for the Dalton Wood and his ability to run the football.
But then for Murphysboro, you better keep an eye on Desmond Clark.
He's pretty electric. Running back, all-stater, averages 9.5 yards per carry, pretty crazy. A speedster who can really make plays in open spaces and get to the house every touch he has on the football.
Well, Richmond-Burton got here by virtue of two very impressive wins in the quarterfinals and semifinals. They knocked off defending state champ IC Catholic in the quarterfinals, and then tore apart Cole City 30-0 for their semifinal win. Murphysboro, boy, you talk about some dramatics. They had an overtime victory over Effingham.
Yes, it did. Took a tip pass to win that thing. An exciting game it was, and that catapulted them here to DeKalb. That trip that they have made with a prize in mind.
Okay, so the excitement leading up to this game. We're ready for excitement here in Class 4A. All of that is coming your way next. Our 4A championship matchup, Richmond-Burton, Murphysboro, next on the IHSA TV network.
IHSA Football State Championships are brought to you by Country Financial. Preparing your financial future doesn't have to be complicated. Take it one simple step at a time at TakeSimpleSteps.com. Busey Bank. Busey, your dream, our promise.
Well, everything we have is insured with Country Financial. Our home is insured with Country Financial.
Our cars.
All of our cars, all of our recreational vehicles. Our life is insured, and our liability is with Country Financial.
We keep in contact on a pretty regular basis and make sure that everything that they think they've got coverage for, they actually do.
At Busey, our story centers around you, your goals, and your dreams. You dreamed of owning your first home. You partnered with us to customize a plan. You started a business. You trusted us to guide you through the ups and downs. You wanted to leave a legacy. You allowed us to bring your dreams to life. Thank you for partnering with us to make tomorrow's dreams today's reality. Busey, your dream, our promise.
Big crowd here at Husky Stadium. Dave Bernhardt along with Mark Lindo. Let's check in with the third member of our announcing team. Down to the sidelines we go, and Derek Bain.
Yeah, guys, we're getting ready for kickoff here in just a couple of moments. And you mentioned some of the similarities in offense between these two teams running the wing T, but the way they got here through the semifinals, quite different. Murphysboro making its first ever trip to state thanks to a dramatic overtime win against Effington off a tip pass catch that helped them win 20-17, whereas Richmond-Burton, a shutout win over #1 Coal City. So both teams a little bit different styles of play in terms of how they got here through the semifinals, but now they're here and they're ready to kick things off for the 4A title.
All right, very good, Derek. And Murphysboro winning the toss. They elected to receive. They will be defending our goal to our right again. It's a cold, crisp night, and it's very damp out there, actually. It's not raining, but there's a lot of moisture in the air, so keep an eye on how slippery that ball may become. No real wind factor here tonight. And for Effingham, they come in at 11-2. Back deep, you see Jake Hoppenstead, number 24. Number 5 there is Hunter Mead, and getting ready to kick it off is Nick Legnioli. And we'll get used to saying that name a lot because he will never leave the field. He kicks, he plays offense, defense, and he'll put this 4A game underway. And Murphysboro will start from their 20-yard line. Murphysboro on a season averaging 36 points per game. They only give up 11. They're heavy on the run, 262 yards running the ball. Now their record is 11-2, but only one loss from Murphysboro came on the field. They had to sit out a week due to a teacher strike in Murphysboro in week 6. The only loss came in week number 1 against Carbondale, a ball game that Murphysboro led. This was an underrated team all season long, and yet here they are.
Yeah, so they start off 0-2 because of that teacher strike and that loss to the Terriers of Carbondale. But they come back and they put a really nice streak together. You see that first look of that wing tee out of the pistol.
Jamar McZeek is a quarterback, and he'll go quick pitch, and he'll go to the man we were talking about moments ago. That's Desmond Clark. He rushes for over 1,000 yards. He can catch some passes as well. You talked about Clark. He's electric. He's an all-state track star in the triple jump.
Well, he averages over 9 yards per carry. See that at 9.5. Check that out. He get to the house 70 yards, his longest touchdown run. So he's a home run threat each and every time he touches the football.
Richmond-Burton big on the lines. They will outman and outweigh the Murphysboro linemen by about 40 to 50 pounds per man. And there, that defense, count the number of maroon jerseys in there. Underneath that whole pile was Zane Caraway.
See the man in motion, the inside handoff, and there's the big stop by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hats rushing the football. Bring those hats to the party and finish the play on the inside.
Number 67 in the middle of that, Logan Grant, 6'4", 280-pound senior. He got hurt in week 9. He hasn't played in the postseason. So that play right there is the first postseason play for Logan Grant, and he made it a big one.
Back on the inside, he'll give them a presence at the 3 technique.
And a first down and more to the 35-yard line. And you can see the speed of Jake Hoppenstead. He got to that seam and he broke it.
But he's an excellent runner using his vision and his ability to change directions quickly in space. He throws the hips. He's like an M&M, make him miss.
11 yards and a first down for Hoppenstead. 5'10" senior.
He said that last drive, he called it awesome in their semifinal win. Nothing but.
That game, Murphysboro had to survive. They recovered a fumble by Effingham, who was going in for the game-winning score, and then won it in overtime, as we mentioned, on a deflected pass. Not much doing up the middle. Richmond-Burton defense is only allowed 6 points per game, only 78 yards on the ground. This is a team in Richmond-Burton that has pitched 6 shutouts this year. They've not allowed more than 2 touchdowns in any single game.
So they have been able to control the line of scrimmage, which is one of tonight's game keys. Who can win that battle of trenches? You talked about the size differentiation, but can speed and quickness make a difference in that size up front?
Jamar McZeek, the senior quarterback, will send Clark in motion. Good vision as McZeke is able to look downfield and find Hunter Mead. That's his 10th catch of the season. Just short of the first down.
McZeke just buys some time. You see him rolling right. Look at his eyes downfield. He changes direction and then finds a soft spot in the zone to deliver the ball on time, on target.
Red Devils looking for a couple of yards here to move the chains. Looking to get to the edge as Hoppenstead is not going to get there. Great pursuit from the Rockets defense.
Talk about shutting off a block. Really good defensive effort on the inside handoff. You get speed to the outside, but just fighting off that block and able to make the stop. A host of tacklers.
The main man in there was number 43. You'll see him on offense in just a second. That is Dalton Wood. He goes both ways for the defensive coordinator, who happens to be his father.
78 total tackles for Dalton Wood. He can stick you.
Ryan Finke does the punting for Murphysboro. No rush. And a short kick. He did not hit it well at all. He'll take about 8 yards on the hop, and Richmond-Burton will start from the 32-yard line following a 24-yard punt. Richmond-Burton's offense, we mentioned their defense, 6 shutouts, but they pile up the points. 43 points per ball game, and get this. The Rockets in the first half have outscored their opponents 398-33. And leading the way onto the field will be Jacob Huber. Here's a young man who has really changed and improved his game this season. He took over as quarterback last year. He just flat out does everything better this year and has given head coach Mike Noel an opportunity to throw the ball a bit more. But this is going to be on the ground. Down inside the 45-yard line. Hard running from Tyler Anderson.
Nice cutback. He puts his cleats in the ground, finds a hole, fights off one tackler and drags one with him as well. Power football. They pull the guard from the left side up into the hole, and he just follows it down through to Tyler Anderson, 6'1", 185.
He's got some fresh legs. He was hurt in week 4. He didn't come back until the first round of the playoffs. He picks up 25 yards on the first carry, and this is Dalton Wood. Wood will power forward inside the 30. That will be good for about 15.
32 rushing touchdowns for that young man as he can punish at 5'10", 185. All-state fullback, halfback. He's a running back, but he can play fullback as well. He's in a fullback body. He is one chiseled young man.
Offensive line for Richmond-Burton goes 255, 195, 290, 246, 294. Wood again. This is the power running game that has driven Richmond-Burton to this title game.
Yeah, they average 43 points a game. A lot of it because of that young man's ability to get the end zone, 32 touchdowns by that offensive line. As you mentioned, they'll do a lot of pulling. They call this the West Coast wing team. They'll trap, they'll pin and pull. They do a lot of stuff with their offensive line because of their experience and size. Double tight end right there.
3 plays, 48 yards on this drive, and they're going to get some more here. A little over 5 on the carry. The tackle made by Baden Dorsey, number 6.
And Anderson follows a block of Wood that time up into the hole. Good tackle in space by Dorsey.
Huber under center. He will give it to Legnioli, and he will go in. Did he get in there? Yes, he did. Nick Legnioli. The touchdown for Richmond-Burton, and that didn't take long.
They had 124 yards against IHSA as the two-back. A couple weeks ago, last week, a good game against Coal City as well in the semis. Jet sweep, if you will. Look at the blocking out in front. Once he gets to the edge, it's acceleration into the end zone. Jet sweep for the score.
14-yard touchdown run for Legnioli. So RB averaging about 15 yards per carry on that lightning quick drive.
Legnioli's best game of the season arguably was against Cole City. He gets his first touch into the end zone tonight.
And flags come up before we can get that kickoff. And here is the call.
Good ball. Ball start, number 78 on the offense. 5 yards, still on time.
That will back it up just a bit for Legnioli. There's Mike Knoll. What a storied career he has had. Hall of Famer, 24-2 in second year at Richmond-Burton. 238 career wins. He had previous stops in McHenry and at Glenbrook South.
Hall of Fame coach. He said, I'm excited and I'm thankful for this opportunity, and he's earned it.
Legnioli gets all 7 points. The 14-yard touchdown run, the extra point. And this is how the Rockets get on the board.
It's takeoff for the Rockets, Legnioli.
Heart of Illinois ABC, bringing you in-depth reporting.
I want to do the story because there are 800,000 people in Illinois that are in line to have their records cleared.
Reports you won't see anywhere else.
I talked to researchers and I talked to cheerleaders about how much intentional work is being done to protect athletes.
Stories important to you.
I hope the viewers understand the process of a seasonal forecast. It's very different than our 7-day forecast.
Heart of Illinois ABC, local, social.
Deciding which colleges to consider and ultimately which college to attend can be overwhelming for both students and parents. We understand. When my kids are ready for college, I know what I'll be looking for. A safe environment, a caring community, a lively campus culture, and opportunities to succeed so they can love their college years and all the years that come after. So if your wish list is anything like mine, I invite you to come visit us at Illinois State. And if you have questions you really want to ask, let's talk.
Richmond-Burton fans, the last time they had a 14-0 season was never. And they've heard about that all season long, especially here in the week leading up to this game. 1992, they were state champs. Second 8 years ago, the seniors were fourth graders at that point, but this is a team that has been a powerhouse for years in the semifinals the last 2 years, and they have the early 7-0 lead. 5 plays, 4 first downs on that opening drive for the Rockets.
Well, they ran the ball inside, they ran the ball outside. They had 3 different players get touches offensively. Offensive line controlled the line of scrimmage. They moved the sticks. They took care of the football. You do all those things, and you get in the end zone for first touch, 7-0 lead.
Okay, so now it's Murphysboro's turn. They picked up a first down in that first drive. They've got to make something sustained happen here, because we've seen the Rockets in these playoffs able to run up points in a hurry. This is Hoppenstedt. He gets the ball once again. Long drive up here for Murphysboro. Head coach Gary Carter in his 9th season. They traveled on Thanksgiving Day, stayed overnight just so they were in the area. And Coach Carter said, you know, it was always a dream of his to travel on Thanksgiving to play for a state title, and here he is.
It's amazing because you read some of the quips and quotes from the different coaches of the 8 teams, or the 8 games, 16 teams, and everybody's saying it's so nice to practice on Thanksgiving Day.
Gary Carter, he was a defensive lineman on the 1983 Southern Illinois University National Championship team.
34th years of coaching. He coached the national team. Yeah, that was a great opportunity for him.
Nick Zeke is able to get it out into space to Kevin Kirkwood. So here in this wing T offense, Gary Carter will alternate and rotate his fullbacks. Kevin Kirkwood is one of those. Aiden McNitt is another. Zane Caraway, we saw him in the first possession. They all have different skills that they bring to that position.
Well, they run the wing T out of the pistol formation, meaning that means the quarterback is 5 yards back from the line of scrimmage, from the center. They'll run a lot of play-action passing game off that. A lot of gap blocking and traps in their own right in their wing T blocking scheme up front.
Some room off the right side, and you can see the quick feet that if the offensive line for Murphysboro can get a little surge, there's room to explode through.
See, it's all about, with the lack of size, it's all about your footwork as an offensive lineman, your technique as an offensive lineman, and using your pad level. Stay low, have your good angles against bigger people across the front line.
Flag comes out. Came out right on the snap of the ball.
Legal shift on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
Call comes from Mark DiMarzio. He is down on the field that now is starting to get a little bit damp. It's not raining, but there is a mist that is blowing in here that will create temperatures that may be in the mid-30s to feel like it's more like in the mid-20s and could cause some slipperiness as well. So 5-yard walk-off against the Red Devils. The pitch with blockers ahead. Not enough for the first down, but a workable third down here. That was Hoppenstead on the carry.
Richmond-Burton run a 3-man front, so what Murphysboro try to do is get the ball to the outside where they do have 4 backers, so they'll try to probe the inside even more along the way, but probably just leaving script now, deciding if which way they're going to attack this front line, the odd front right now.
Not enough. Once again, they went fullback up the middle. Kirkwood again. Kevin Kirkwood is their physical fullback compared to Caraway, who's the mutter. Aiden McNitt, or the speed guy.
Good stop on the inside. Moving laterally to the football.
First punt went for 24 yards for Ryan Finke. He's just about in the same spot of the field as he was moments ago. And this one will be less than 24. Off the side of his foot. Great field position here for Richmond-Burton. They will start at their own 48-yard line.
Special teams has come into play in regards to field position early on.
At the University of Northern Iowa, great opportunities begin with personal connections. Connections with fellow students, staff, and faculty that make you feel like your voice is heard, that it's making a difference. Our faculty makes your learning their highest priority. They're helping you explore your passions in and out of the classroom, creating the real-world experiences that put you ahead of the competition. Discover where you belong at the University of Northern Iowa.
The NFHS Learning Center is the leader in online education for the interscholastic community. At nfhslearn.com, you can find over 70 courses, including more than 30 free courses, such as concussion in sports, heat illness prevention, sudden cardiac arrest, and protecting students from abuse. To learn more, visit the NFHS Learning Center.
Murphysboro in their first state title ball game in school history. In fact, their semifinal last week, that was the first semifinal since 1988. They're up against it right now, down 7-0. Jacob Huber on the rollout. He will connect with Dalton Wood. And Wood will be inside the 10-yard line. He was not touched for about 40 yards.
Huber, efficient enough quarterback, if you will. Thrown for over 1,000 yards. They come up with a double tight end set. He rolls him out, finds Wood on an out route, out in the flat, gets the ball out in space, and then the race is on down the sideline. A big chunk play. Huber to Wood, pitch and catch.
First down and goal from the 9 after a 44-yard completion.
So they take the good field position and they get a huge explosive play, and they're already knocking at the door of the red zone.
Wood will get it again. Head down, legs driving inside the 5.
Averages 7.7 yards per carry, and because of his balance and his strength and his vision, all those put together, you end up with a really, really good all-state running back. He establishes their team as a physical team anytime he touches a football.
1,600 yards rushing checking into this game. Hit in the backfield and denied. Looked good for a while for Tyler Anderson. And then number 68 in the middle of that, Ren Stearns for Murphysboro.
Everybody stacked in the box. Good penetration to break things up initially by Jameer Frazier, and then a host of tacklers came to make that play.
Jameer Frazier, an all-stater.
Aiden McNitt, the finisher on that. 6'3", 185 senior, but they still got some work to do on third down.
Right up the middle, Wood. 33rd touchdown of the season gives Richmond-Burton the early 13-0 lead.
Well, you see this one again, and watch the offensive line for Richmond-Burton. Watch them, watch them. They're all in the end zone. They're all in the end zone. They're 3 or 4 yards in. That's the surge they made. And so you carry the football, all you got to do is follow the big fellas, the road graders up front. And he's done that a whole bunch of times, like 33 on the season.
The short touchdown run set up by the 44-yard pass from Huber to Wood. Legnioli again for the extra point. Right through the middle, and the Rockets have jumped all over Murphysboro. 14-0 with a couple of minutes left here in the first quarter. Let's go downstairs to sidelines and Derek Bain.
Yeah, Dave and Mark, 14 points still in the first quarter. It doesn't seem like a huge deficit. Seems manageable, but Richmond-Burton hasn't allowed more than 14 points in a game all year. So this thing could be out of hand if they can score another touchdown here, the way their defense plays. So we'll have to see how the Red Devils can respond.
Indeed, Derek, you know, this is the total package, as Derek alluded to, in terms of offense and defense for Richmond-Burton. Yet this was a team, when the playoff pairings were announced, they thought they didn't get quite enough respect because Cole City and IC Catholic were both in the northern part of the bracket.
Yeah, they beat those two schools in the quarters and semis respectively. And Mike Knoll says that our team's pretty good. We can beat you in all 3 phases. Now, they give up only 6 points a game defensively. They have a solid kicking game in all parts of that, punt game, return game. Their offense obviously has put up big numbers all year long. This is a Richmond-Burton team that can be explosive.
You know, you mentioned with Mike Knoll, say, you know, we're pretty good. You know, we asked, you know, is there a turning point in the season? He paused and he said, no, we've really been good all year. No real turning point. Well, they've got the 14-0 lead here early. Full head of steam straight ahead for Jake Hoppenstedt. Nothing fancy for the 5'10 senior.
Middle return, blocking scheme up front. The wedge was set up pretty well. Hoppenstedt took advantage. Pretty decent field position on that kick return to the 30-yard line. But they got to move the sticks. They've had a couple tough punts that have allowed Richmond-Burton pretty good field position. And Richmond-Burton has parlayed that into 14 points.
So the 7-play drive, 21 yards, 5 plays, 17, both ending in punts for the first 2 possessions for the Red Devils. Hoppenstedt goes through. McZeke. It's probably good that he missed Meade that badly because there are a couple of Rockets out there ready to take that about 30 yards the other way.
Yeah, Hunter McZeke was on the outside, a little curl, a little flat pattern. He had a linebacker in front of him, a corner in back of him, so double coverage on the outside. That pass just overthrown, or maybe, as you alluded to, McZeke threw that away to negate any kind of possible turnover.
Clark will get it to the outside, looking for a block there. He'll go outside of that block, and he should have enough for the first down. Desmond Clark went from left to right.
And he's got a guy that's got to establish himself in this game, but they're going to get back. They get him to the outside, throws his hips to the outside again, then goes vertical north and south like a good runner does. But he is their guy. He's their home run hitter. 1,100 yards on the season, 16 touchdowns. They got to get him multiple touches here tonight.
Enough for the first down, and clock sitting at 1:45 to play here in the first quarter. In terms of number of plays, Murphysboro has run more than RB has.
Entire town of Murphysboro painted with red and yellow.
Yep.
Street signs downtown.
The quick exchange. Now the timing is something that the Red Devils had some problems with this season. It's caused several fumbles this year, and you can see how quickly they do it. And here is the other fullback, Aiden McNitt, who got the carry there.
He's been a really good through the playoffs, both sides of the football. He and Caraway and Kirkwood, they split the duties, as you mentioned. They all have their own roles. And having your own role on a football team and accepting that role and excelling in that role, oh, so important. That's why you lead your team to the state finals.
Tyler Anderson there to clog that up. The carry from Hoppenstedt also. There's Logan Grant again, number 67.
They fake the fullback. They get the downhill run, that time going to the edge by Hoppenstedt. And not so fast, says Logan Grant.
Oh, he is a load at 6'4", 280.
I'd like to miss him for 9 weeks and still have the stellar defense you have, and then know he's coming back for your playoff run.
Murphysboro, with 4 seconds left to play in the first quarter, forced to take a timeout because that play clock had gone down to 1.
Murphysboro.
Boy, that is a tough timeout to take with 4 seconds left to play in the first quarter that you trail 14-0. You save 5 yards. You're going to have yourself a 3rd down and 3 after this timeout is over. So you had better hope, if you're Gary Carter and Murphysboro fans, that you convert on this one.
Yeah, but that's how important this drive is, because you can't chase 3 teams, 3 scores against Richmond-Burton.
Well, you see the tightrope that Murphysboro walked all the way through the playoffs. Nothing dominant there. How about that win over McNamara? That was the one that really caught a lot of folks' attention. McNamara had played in this title game last year. It took a game-winning drive with 40 seconds left. In fact, it was an 11-play drive, took over 5 minutes off the clock to defeat McNamara. And then we talked about the overtime win over Effingham, getting a fumble in the last 8 seconds and then converting a touchdown in overtime on a tip pass.
Yeah, how about start with that? You go back to that Mac game. They lost 5 fumbles in that game. Yet you're able to beat Rich Zianini's team, a team that had eliminated them the year before.
Motion from Clark. McZeed has some room to run if he wants it. And let's see where they spot him out of bounds. I don't know that he got to that stick. Now he will be about a yard short.
Legnioli with the first down saving tackle, creating this 4th and 1, as they actually got a pretty good opportunity there with McZeek out in space, putting pressure on the DBs because they were back in pass coverage. He saw a little bit of real estate in front of him before Legnioli came up and made a one-on-one.
And that will close out our first quarter. A couple of touchdown runs for Richmond-Burton. And they lead it 14-0 after 1 here in your 4A title game.
Ripped off, swindled, cheated. You need the Heart of Illinois ABC troubleshooters. Jessica Cook, Donnie Tillman. They get the answers when you've been told no. Working for you, getting results.
1 phone for the price of 2? A Chillicothe man says he's been disputing with the phone company over this for months.
Troubleshooters, Tuesday at 10 on Heart of Illinois ABC. Local, social.
If you were in an accident, would you know where to go? I'm Ryan Button with Morton Collision Repair. Some insurance companies may try to send you to shops that use junkyard or imitation parts. But at Morton Collision Repair, we focus on you, your car, and your safety. And all of our work is backed by a limited lifetime warranty. Go to MortonCollision.com and upload your photos to start your free estimate. Or tell your agent you want to go to Morton Collision Repair. Remember, it's your car, it's your choice. Choose Morton Collision Repair.
When you're looking for a new or pre-owned travel trailer, fifth wheel, or motorhome, call Pontiac RV before you buy. Pontiac RV is Illinois' largest RV dealer. Our volume buying power and lower overhead means you'll save on major manufacturers like Coachman, Keystone, Forest River, Tiffin Motorhomes, and more. With over 300 RVs in stock, see why people travel from all over the Midwest to Pontiac RV. Call or click PontiacRV.com.
Everything under the sun, Pontiac RV.
There's no limit to what you'll do for her. You want her to explore, to dream, to grow. You're always amazed at what her little mind creates and where the depths of her imagination take her. At OSF Healthcare Children's Hospital of Illinois, they explore the boundaries of healthcare. They dream beyond today to care for the tiniest of babies and the most complex illnesses. OSF Children's Hospital, creating a world where kids can grow without limits.
Destination DeKalb. We are here on the campus of Northern Illinois University in Husky Stadium, and we begin the second quarter. Fourth down and short. Murphysboro to go for it. And that may be enough with forward progress just across midfield. In that first quarter, Richmond-Burton had a couple of touchdowns. They only ran 9 plays for a total of 120 yards, and they did it all in 3 minutes and 6 seconds.
Lightning offense. But able to move the sticks right there. Inside handoff to Desmond Clark. McNitt with the lead block as they convert on 4th and a foot, if you will. And they had to, and they did.
Jameer McZeek's the quarterback. A big hit on McNitt. You heard the O from the sides of the field. First of all, for Murphysboro, because McNitt really took a labeling, and Richmond-Burton fans, they've been accustomed to seeing that type of play from their defense.
Well, they play square. They play with their eyes. They get through the football when they hit. Very fundamentally sound team.
You mentioned that Murphysboro defeated McNamara after being eliminated by McNamara the year before. The same thing happened with Richmond-Burton. They lost 28-9 to IC Catholic in the semis last year, but defeated them in the quarterfinals this year. In fact, that ended a 3-year championship run for IC Catholic and 17 straight playoff victories by the Knights.
Inside handoff to Hoppenstedt, but we talked about playing with your eyes. Really good job staying with the play right there and turn the play back inside.
A lot of people were impressed with that win over IC Catholic. That was on a muddy field at Richmond-Burton, but the eye popper was the Coal City victory. Just total domination, 30-0 for Mike Knoll's team.
Mike Knoll's been around the block a few times. He knew he had a chance for a really special team this year, and they've made the run that he envisioned when he took this job a couple years ago.
Saw the back of his jacket there. It said finish. That is the team slogan this year. Murphysboro 1 of 4 on third downs coming in. They loft it out there. The catch is made. It's Jake Hoppenstedt who will pull it in. Big first down for the Red Devils.
He had one-on-one against Raimondo Guajardo. Really well thrown ball by McZeek. Good concentration to know where the boundary was at by Hoppenstedt. He gets a foot down, slides into the boundary, but not before they move the sticks. Well executed play.
23 yards in the first down to the 25-yard line. McZeek very calm in the backfield. 10th play of the drive for the Red Devils. Nowhere to go for Clark. No gain for Desmond Clark. Gary Carter has said this is a very resilient group, and we showed you their playoff scores and their playoff story to get here. They need to be resilient because they've been smacking them out down by 14-0 here early, but here they've responded with an 11-play drive.
Well, they've used the sticks a couple times at 11 plays. They moved those sticks and burned some time, even Richmond-Burton's offense on the boundary.
McZeek will get a block in the backfield to the end zone, and too much. That ball just kept floating and floating and floating. It was pulled in by Hunter Mead, but just a bit too much.
Hunter Mead ran out of real estate. The ball kept carrying with the wind. roll out against the grain. McZeke was able to square his shoulders, but well off the back edge of the end zone.
Heck of a catch, though, by Meade. You'll get a little bit of a rest on the near sideline.
Dry football, that's the way to get it done, in a plastic bag.
Another third down. This time it's 3rd and 10. But Murphysboro forced to take another timeout. That's their second here of the first half. Preparing for your financial future doesn't have to be complicated. Take it one simple step at a time at TakeSimpleSteps.com.
Richmond-Burton showed that they were only going to rush 3. And right before the timeout, they brought a couple linebackers in the gaps. Were they going to bring 4? Were they going to bring 5? And that's what they showed on the last play. Now the chess match would now go after the timeout. Did you tip your hand or not? Or do you make an adjustment on the defensive side? But any route run, if it's a downfield pass, it's got to be past the sticks, you know, to the 15-yard line. Their other option they certainly have is to roll out their quarterback, McZeke, get him on the edge with his option to run the football if he sees coverage downfield.
Looking for 10 yards here on 3rd down. Hoppenstedt goes through. McZeke, the late pitch to Hoppenstedt. Ooh, a dangerous pitch, and somehow he gets away with it. Only about a yard on the carry. Well, this is one of the reasons you can fumble 5 times in a game. Boy, that was a heck of a catch there by Hoppenstedt. Had to reach behind him and make the one-handed grab.
Well, that was almost, obviously not out of wishbone, but that was a triple option play. It was a fullback dive on the read. They saw the play close up there. Then the quarterback, McZeke, took it, brought the defense toward him. As he saw the defensive end crash down, he pitched to Hoppenstedt, who made a good catch to save that.
Murphysboro will have to go for it here on 4th down. McZeke, big time trouble, and that's the best he can do.
Wow. Well, tip your cap to Richmond-Burton, because what McZeke had right there, they had set up his first option. He rolled right. He wanted the throwback, but he looked back, and all he saw was red shirts. Richmond-Burton staying at home, reading their keys, playing with their eyes, disciplined, and got the job done on 4th down.
Dig the pig. Dig the pig from Butcher's Pizza. Locally made with the finest ingredients. The frozen pizza with the just made taste. The quality pizza that your family deserves. A quick meal you'll be proud to serve. Dig the pig. Dig the pig from Butcher's Pizza.
So what would you say makes SIU Carbondale different?
Well, here at SIU, and we're live. We're studying the past for the future.
Because learning is a science.
And an art form.
Education.
And experience.
So that's a salute.
Richmond-Burton with their palms for show and for warmth, I have to believe. It's kind of an uncomfortable night here with the dampness in the air, temperatures mid to low 30s. But yet their team is on top, 14-0.
A little bit warmer when you're up 14-0, right?
It feels good then, yes. A lot of room along the left side, and getting there in a hurry is Nick Legnioli. Boy, you talk about the fastest player, Richmond-Burton. He hit that hole quickly.
Really good blocking on the inside, a kick-out block on the outside, and then just acceleration into the open hole. You know, you wear a team down, You go with Akard, 6'6", 255 in the front line. Martinez, 5'11", 290. Hood at 246. Tyler Roberts, 6'5", 294. And Conrad Miller, 6'3", 190. They got some big old hogs up front.
Nice cut in the backfield from Wood. Another first down. That offensive line opens this hole for Dalton Wood.
Yeah, we just talked about their size and their strength and their footwork. And you got a back like that to follow. A great offensive line can make an average back look good. An average back can make a great offensive line look good. And when you have great and great, you're pretty special.
Anderson gets stuck in the backfield. That draws a cheer from the Murphysboro fans as Aiden McNitt labeled Tyler Anderson. Drives in this ball game. They both resulted in touchdowns for Richmond-Burton. Quick drives indeed, total of 9 plays to those 2 scores, both running plays. Time of possession of those drives, just 3 minutes and 6 seconds. That gets you there in a hurry.
McNitt, an all-conference player, 60 tackles, one of their leaders on the team. Really good turning that play back in.
Quick hitter up the middle. Go for about 4, maybe 5 yards. They'll set up a 3rd down and long.
McNitt around that one, as well as Zane Caraway. But not before they set up this 3rd down play.
How do we see Jacob Huber go to the air?
How about the first half he had against Coal City? He was 7 out of 8 for 148 yards in the first half alone.
Quick drop. And enough for the first down. He's able to get it to Logan Hudson, his favorite receiver, his 31st catch of the year.
He had a TD catch against Coal City. This ball goes the outside the numbers, pretty good arm strength. And look at him fully take the ball vertically, knowing where the sticks were at. Good spatial awareness, meaning he knew where he was at, where the sticks were at, and where the football needed to go to move the chains.
11-yard gain for the 7th first down of the game for the Rockets. They're going to go to the air again. Under pressure, he delivers it. Jacob Huber showing the good arm strength.
Really nice crossing route to the tight end. Jacob Peterson comes all the way across your screen. Makes a good catch. Good focus to look the ball in. Good first down, 8-9 yard pickup. Sets up very enviable 2nd down play.
And now Richmond-Burton starting to show the variety they can bring in offense. And there's a first down pickup. It will be 1st and goal inside the 10-yard line. Dalton Wood will pick up that first down.
They bring Murphysboro, comes in a blitz. They catch him in that blitz. They bring in the whole house. Once he gets to the 2nd level, not much help there before a substantial gain. Once again, a stop but downfield by McNitt.
Huber gets that play call from the sidelines. Mike Knoll, the offensive coordinator, doubles as the head coach. He's also the offensive line coach. He's making a 1st and goal call here. Number 68, that's Ren Stern, 6'1", 200-pound junior right there. So Stearns used his quickness there against the size of that RB line.
Well, Mike Knoll said Murphysboro have the most team speed we've played, and they're going to have to utilize that speed to A, get back in this game, and B, win this game. Ultimately, they have to have a stop on this drive.
To the end zone. And incomplete. Looking for Logan Hudson, is well covered.
Hudson, a football, basketball player. He was the one and only target. Tried to throw that ball back shoulder, and we're not able to complete the connection.
Murphysboro Co-op. They're a co-op between Murphysboro High School and Alvarado High School. They are defending the final 8 yards here of the field. timeout on the field. We'll take a break. When we come back, Richmond-Burton will run their 10th play of this drive. It'll be 3rd and goal from the 8.
Not only is Country Financial our insurance, but they treated us like family.
Relationships are the single most important piece of the puzzle. We always ask this question: what is the right thing to do?
Nikki's donations made a huge impact on a lot of people. This one right here, sitting next to me especially. When Gift of Hope came to me and asked me for the donation, it made me feel very confident knowing that I can give my baby's heart. This is Nikki's heart beating inside Tanisha's chest.
So when I heard this pounding, like, what is that noise? And the nurse said to me, that's your heart.
I carried Nikki for 9 months. Now Tanisha's gonna carry her the rest of her life.
Say yes to donation. Start the conversation with your loved ones today.
Now there's a great Murphysboro fans. Go red on the top. You've got your red and gold gloves, t-shirt underneath. You are ready for state championship football. Congratulations, young lady.
And is she clapping right there? Does she know the score?
It doesn't matter. Here's Huber throwing on the run. And it'll be 4th and goal. Once again, he was looking for Hudson.
And there was only one person in the last 2 pass plays. Hudson on the near side, then Hudson on the far side. So not a chance to really go through progressions to make a play by Huber, but one intended target.
Nick Legnioli will attempt a 25-yard field goal pretty much straight on. Legnioli this year 6 of 8. And field goals as long as a 32. This from 25. And he puts points on the board for Richmond-Burton. Murphysboro kept the Rockets out of the end zone, but 3 more go on the side for Richmond-Burton in the 17-0 lead with 4 1/4 to play here in the 2nd quarter.
And he indeed did drill that football through the uprights. He had 25 yards to spare. So keep that in mind as far as his range later on if need be.
In a hurry but want a fresh, affordable meal to serve your family or friends? Biaggi's Pronto Packs make it easy to enjoy an authentic Italian meal at home or on the go. Perfectly sized to serve 4 to 5 people and starting at only $30. Pronto Packs include your choice of a pasta, or 2 pizzas with the house or Caesar salad and freshly baked bread with Biaggi's butter for dipping. Or if you're planning a meal for a large group, just ask about their party pans. Size for 8 to 12 guests and ready for pickup with 24 hours advance notice. With 6 Illinois locations, Biaggi's Carryout is the perfect solution for your busy lifestyle.
Richmond-Burton drives culminates with the field goal to extend it to a 3-possession game, i.e. 17-0. But you got to feel pretty good if you're Murphysboro right there. You won the battle the last couple plays, kept them out of the end zone, and kept yourself within striking distance. This would be a must-score drive right now for Murphysboro.
That was a 12-play drive that took up 4 minutes and 6 seconds off the clock and resulted in Legnioli's 25-yard field goal. Legnioli has accounted for 10 of those 17 points tonight for Richmond-Burton. Hoppenstedt inside the 5. The Red Devils will have about 4 minutes and 19 seconds to work with here in the first half. Last time they had the ball, they moved it. 11-play drive. And yet they're looking for their first points.
Trey Schneider right there in the middle of the defensive line for Richmond-Burton. 6'8", 332. 6'8", 332. He's going to try to basically blow up the blocking assignments of Murphysboro.
Couple of punts and turning it over on downs. Murphysboro have to get something going here before the half. Clark will be run out of bounds. Desmond Clark tonight has averaged about 4 yards per carry. We'll get 5 on that play.
Guajardo on the tackle. Sometimes a two-way player.
Yeah, Guajardo had to step into action when Tyler Anderson was hurt on the offensive side of the ball this year. Hoppenstedt threw in motion. And this is to Zane Caraway. You see that fullback rotation, and truly every series they will rotate Caraway, Kirkwood, McNitt.
And just not many seams right now for Murphysboro's Red Devils up front. Controlling the line of scrimmage. Richmond-Burton definitely has done that throughout this first half.
Well, you know, if you look down there and you just say how much material was made for the uniforms of these two teams, there's more material in the jerseys of Richmond-Burton than there is for Murphysboro. Now McZeke on the run. Nicely thrown ball to Hoppenstedt. That's good enough for a first down.
And McZeke showed great patience to let Hoppenstedt finish his route and get to the stick. So really good timing and symmetry between McZeke and Hoppenstedt. He let him square out into the flat, get to the stick, and then he delivered the football where he had already secured first down yardage.
McZeke, 4 of 6 passing here tonight. Has a nice soft touch on his ball. To the 40-yard line, once again, the fullback, Zane Caraway.
Caraway, that was the most punishing run, if you will, by a Murphysboro back tonight, that fullback, because he was able to take a hit, spin off, take another hit, spin off, take another hit, spin off, and got 6-7 yards, and about 5 or 6 of them were after contact.
2:45 clock running here in the first half, your 4A championship game.
Ryan Finke on the far side has some one-on-one coverage, but a cushion.
Room to the near side. Nice cut by Clark, and he will have a first down. Desmond Clark gets that quick timing handoff, and being able to shake that first tackler enabled him to pick up that first down yardage. Gary Carter, the head coach for Murphysboro, he says, you know, this is a very experienced team, and what that means is if something good happens, it doesn't mean it's the end of the game. If something bad happens, this team just keeps on playing, and that's what they're doing right here, trailing 17-0. McZeke is able to slam on the brakes and make a cut. And a quarterback will take it up there 9 yards, close to a first down.
A balance and agility right here in the open spaces as he rolls it out. Watch him right there. Put on the brakes, cut it from east and west to north and south, and create a play against this 3-man front the Richmond-Burton continues to employ. Richmond-Burton will give you a 3-3 look. They've consulted Cary Grove coach Don Sutherland and got some good information. You know, coaches, they steal from each other all the time. Every sport.
A little misdirection in the backfield. Hoppenstedt gets the carry. It'll depend on the spot of the ball as to whether he picks up the first down. We've already had 3 champions crowned today. It was Lena Winslow picking up the title in 1A. In 2A, Newman Central Catholic picked up its 6th, and then in thrilling fashion, a game, just a classic game that you'll want to catch somewhere. 3A game, Williamsville came from behind to defeat Byron 46-42. Well, the Red Devils got to strike quickly here. We're approaching 1 minute to play in the first half. McZeke pulled it down in a hurry, and he goes down just as quickly. Only 1 timeout remaining for the Red Devils.
Well, football is a game of individual matchups and individual battles within those matchups. And winning that matchup right there, a nice individual tackle was Blake Morgel, who made a play in space, fighting off the block and making an individual tackle.
Taking a long time to get this play in. That clock is running down to 30 seconds now. McZeke looks downfield and stops the clock with 17 seconds to play. I mentioned the games today. How about the games tomorrow? Boy, are we set up for an interesting day tomorrow. In 5A, we'll start with you at 10 o'clock when St. Rita will take on Rochester. That's right, Rochester, who we see every year, it seems like, playing in this 4A title game. They move up to 5A this year. In 6A, you'll get a chance to see the East St. Louis Flyers take on Prairie Ridge. And then, Mark, our games that you and I will have. How about this? 4 teams that are 13-0. Mount Carmel goes against Nazareth in 7A. In 8A, Lincoln Way East and Warren.
What a slate of 4 great games with incredible athletes.
The little inside handoff to Caraway. Zane Caraway still on his feet inside the 25-yard line. That will stop the clock for a first down. And here's a look at that run, a little trickery here.
The whole flow to the right. Caraway looks like he's going to block, but no, the inside handoff. He goes back against the flow of the defense, against the grain, and a gaping hole for that young man to move the sticks and get them.
That 21-yard run for Murphysboro, the longest play of the half for the Red Devils. And now taking their final timeout. They've got 8 seconds to shoot for the end zone.
Caraway is going to really sell this play himself. Watch 47. Look at just lulls to sleep like he's going to make a block, and then the inside handoff. So really good sleight of hand on the exchange between quarterback McZeke and Caraway on that play. Caraway knows how to rush it. He averages 7.3 yards per carry.
I think that might be my favorite play of the day right there. A little tuck it up underneath his right arm. All right, got to look for that end zone with the Husky and the Huskies written on it.
Got to go to the end zone because anything in play, they have no timeouts left.
Pressure. He had a man there, and a little bit frustrated, I think, was Desmond Clark. The ball just kind of floated a bit too much. Now 3 seconds left.
So on this play, you actually have a couple options, not just one. We said they had to go to the end zone there. Now they can flood the end zone. They can throw a pass, the 8-10 yard line, and try to let the would-be receiver catch and make a play in space with a defense playing way back in deep coverage. So you have a couple different options here.
Richmond-Burton trying to keep that 0 on the scoreboard. And to do so, they will take a timeout with 3 seconds remaining.
They'll play a couple safeties deep, and they'll play at least 4 backers 8 to 10 yards back. And their job is then to negate what I was just alluding to. You have to stay in your lanes. You got to keep your eyes, because if you get out of your lane on any kind of throwback or cutback, you can be vulnerable to an explosive play.
Richmond-Burton defensively this year has allowed a total of only 169 yards per game. We mentioned how they have outscored their opponents in the first half, and that continues here tonight. That right now they are up to, in the first half of play this season, outscoring their opponents 415 to 33. Beck, the starters have not played a lot of second halves of games this year. Of course, during the playoffs, it changes a little bit. They played all the way against IC Catholic and were most of the way against Coal City the last 2 games. Now they'll defend the final 3 seconds.
Look at how deep their secondary is.
McZeke will just throw it up there, hoping for the best. And it will be an interception to close out the half.
Did to play center field with the deep drops, protect the end zone, protect the goal line. Going ahead and high, pointing the football.
Logan Hudson went up there and flat out got that ball. We've seen him a target on the receiving end a few times with Jacob Huber's passes. This time he intercepts Jamar McZeke to close out the first half and send Richmond-Burton to their locker room with a 17-0 lead. A touchdown run from Nick Legnioli. Dalton Woods scored on a short touchdown run. Then Legnioli knocked home a 25-yard field goal. That was the only scoring in the second quarter. A 17-0 lead, and Derek Bain is standing by with Mike Knoll.
Yeah, Coach, how proud are you of the way your offense has been able to move the ball, and what's been the key to moving it so effectively?
I think we're controlling the line of scrimmage this last series. You know, I mean, bottom line is we're winning the battle up front, but we got to continue to do that.
Defensively, you're doing what you've done all year, keeping teams out of the end zone. What's the key to that?
We bend, but we don't break, but we're letting them run the ball a little too much. So we're going to need to make some adjustments and play a little better D in the second half.
You got the word finish written across the back of your shirt here. What's the message to the guys about doing just that in the second half?
Yeah, that's the bottom line. Make some adjustments, come out and play our best half of football and see if we can finish this thing.
Good luck in the second half, Coach.
Thank you.
Guys?
All right, thank you very much, Derek. It's a good first half for Mike Knoll and the Rockets from Richmond-Burton. 17-0. We're at halftime. Your Class 4A title game here on the IHSA TV network.
Well, everything we have is insured with Country Financial. Our home is insured with Country Financial.
Our cars.
All of our cars, all of our recreational vehicles. Our life is insured, and our liability is with Country Financial.
We keep in contact on a pretty regular basis and make sure that everything that they think they've got coverage for, they actually do.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among more than 12 million participants in America who take part in high school sports or activities.
Been a union laborer for about 13 years.
And it's just never the same thing twice. You know, it's a lot of different things. You're always doing different things.
I enjoy joining up the union, joining a brotherhood, have some backing for good wage, good insurance, retirement.
And one for the union, I'll probably be, I'm not sure where I would be at.
The Murphysboro High School Band performing and entertaining their fans made the long trip up from Southern Illinois, and they'd like to get a little more entertainment in the second half. But it's all Richmond-Burton here. 13-0 Rockets, 17-0 lead in your 4A title game over the Red Devils from Murphysboro.
Heart of Illinois ABC, bringing you in-depth reporting.
I want to do the story because there are 800,000 people in Illinois that are in line to have their records cleared.
Reports you won't see anywhere else.
I talk to researchers and I talk to cheerleaders about how much intentional work is being done to protect athletes.
Stories important to you.
I hope the viewers understand the process of a seasonal forecast. It's very different than our 7-day forecast.
Heart of Illinois ABC, local, social.
Start your new year off with a new career with NECA IBEW. Earn as you learn as an apprentice in the electrical industry. NECA IBEW is now accepting applications from 9 to 4 on December 2nd through 7th. Each applicant will be interviewed prior to hire. As an electrical apprentice, you'll be highly paid, receive benefits, and get hands-on training in our 23,000 square foot training facility in Bartonville.
NECA IBEW has one of the best healthcare and pension plans in the industry. Your future starts here.
Apply now for this electrical apprenticeship.
There's no limit to what you'll do for her. You want her to explore, to dream, to grow. You're always amazed at what her little mind creates and where the depths of her imagination take her. At OSF Healthcare Children's Hospital of Illinois, they explore the boundaries of healthcare. They dream beyond today to care for the tiniest of babies and the most complex illnesses. OSF Children's Hospital, creating a world where kids can grow without limits.
Your car is more than just transportation. It's a gathering place, your mobile community. At SEFCU, we get that. So we offer car loans with great rates, flexible terms, and no hidden fees. Ready for a new car? Ask about a SEFCU car loan and see how much you can save. Get started at SEFCU.com/loans. SEFCU, not a bank, better.
And once again, welcome back to Northern Illinois University. Our score at halftime, the Rockets of Richmond-Burton on top of the Murphysboro Red Devils, 17-0 at halftime here in the Class 4A championship game. I'd like to welcome Keith Vitale, our training director at the Lyuna Chicagoland Laborers District Council Training and Apprenticeship Fund. He's joining us and giving us a little bit of information. First of all, tell our audience about Lyuna's Chicagoland Laborers District Council and the training program that you oversee there. That's an awesome job.
Thank you. So we have two large training funds. We represent roughly 25,000 union laborers around the 9-county area. We have one training fund in Carroll Stream, which is about 90,000 square feet. Another one in Chicago, which is now, we just added 53,000 new square feet to it, so roughly about 140,000 square feet. And like I said, we train about 8,000 men and women annually.
And these are laborers. So we want to make sure people understand that laborers.
Union laborers.
In detail, what kind of jobs those are?
Oh, our scope of work is very wide. So we have people that work on the bridges, pour the concrete, you'll see the flaggers out on the side of the road. So we have underground workers, sewer, water, high-rise buildings to environmental work, and then your general safety as well.
Keith, how long have you been with the Chicagoland Council?
27 years.
27 years, that's a long time. How'd you get started?
Well, I started out as an instructor, worked my way up, and now I'm training director. I kind of grew with the organization. Watched it evolve into what it is today.
Now describe the value and benefits of the trades as a viable post-high school experience for some people that may be watching right now and might want to get involved.
Well, I think not everybody knows what path they're going to take or what life throws at them. If college isn't for everybody, and some people have that opportunity, if not, the trades, as being a union labor, is one of the best opportunities because you earn an amazing living, plus have benefits and a pension for the future. So you start out as an apprentice. What makes our apprenticeship unique is it's contractor sponsored. So a contractor will actually find somebody, an individual, and they will invest in them for 2 years. It's a 2-year program. They'll come to training at the training center for 9 weeks. It's a 2-year program and 2,400 hours on the job learning, and they start at 60% of journey workers' wages, and then they slowly progress 60, 70, 80, 90, and then after 2 years they graduate to 100%, which is around $43.72 an hour right now.
Not bad at all.
Right.
Talk a little bit about your heart. Well, you seem to be a guy that's passionate about this. Where does that passion come from?
Oh, the men and women that I represent. You see how hard they work. You see that, it's all about going home to your family at the end of the day. You come to the training center. Not only do you learn the skill, you practice the skill, and then you go out on the job ready to work for the contractor, who in turn then makes money, keeps you employed, and then provides a great living for your family. So our goal at the training center is to make sure all these men and women go home every day to their family, provide for their family, give them something, to be proud of. And it makes me proud.
Now, Richmond-Burton, of course, is one of the schools that are in your coverage area, so that I guess you're pulling for them tonight. I don't know. I'm just guessing.
I just found that out. They're out of McHenry, so, of course, I'm rooting for them.
That's right. Now, for those watching who want to get involved, you perked their interest, they want to get involved, what do they do? What's the first step?
Okay, so a couple things. One, go to our website, chicagolaborers.org. Follow, it's very easy to navigate. It is a contractor sponsored, so hopefully there's contractors watching too, so they'll know to go to the website. If anybody has any questions, go to the website. If our website doesn't give them the information they need, all they have to do is go to the contacts page, give us a call, we'll walk them through, we'll show them the process. Everything is pretty much outlined on our website, but they could just call me personally too.
All right. Well, we appreciate you joining us, and hey, go Richmond-Burton, right?
Right.
Get that championship. We appreciate what you do.
Thank you
very much. Keith Vitale joining us, and great information. You want to get involved, you've got the information. Get on board. Great opportunities out there waiting for you. We're going to take a short break. We'll be back in just a moment.
ripped off, swindled, cheated? You need the Heart of Illinois ABC troubleshooters. Jessica Cook, Donnie Tillman. They get the answers when you've been told no. Working for you, getting results.
One phone for the price of two? A Chillicothe man says he's been disputing with the phone company over this for months.
Troubleshooters, Tuesday at 10 on Heart of Illinois ABC. Local, social.
Dig the pig. Dig the pig from Butcher's Pizza. Locally made with the finest ingredients. The frozen pizza with the just made taste. The quality pizza that your family deserves. A quick meal you'll be proud to serve. Dig the pig. Dig the pig from Butcher's Pizza.
At Bottom Line Solutions, we're all about adding value to your bottom line. Margins are thin, and it's all about finding what makes your operation the most money. We're really focused on precision planting products. 2020, SeedSense, Speed Drive, Delta Force, a lot of cutting-edge precision products. Let's find out what is most important and what's going to make you the most money in your farm. Add on these products. If your iron's good, your bearings are solid, and it's not wore out, we can take your old planter and make it like new. Bottom Line Solutions is your precision ag professional.
So what would you say makes SIU Carbondale different?
Well, here at SIU,
and we're live.
We're studying the past for the future.
Because learning is a science.
And an art form.
Education.
And experience.
So that's a salute.
And once again, welcome back to NIU as Husky Stadium, and Derek Bain joins me now at halftime, and quite an interesting first half.
Yeah, heck of a performance from Richmond-Burton, especially defensively. It was kind of that bend but don't break mentality. They let up a few drives, but didn't result in any points for Murphysboro, so we'll see what the Red Devils can do and respond to the second half.
And talking about those highlights, we want to show you some of the action from earlier today and this Class 4A championship game.
That's right. Richmond-Burton gets off to a good start with Nick Legnioli. He takes it around the end and just gets in there for the touchdown in the early lead.
7-0 after the extra point, 5 plays and 4 first downs in that drive. And running back here, touchdown, that is Dalton Wood, 5'10", 185, making it happen. And here you see the field goal that just happened right before halftime, 25-yard field goal there, made it 17-zip. Richard Burton at the halftime break. They're in control right now, but again, a lot more football left to go.
Yeah, we'll see if Richmond-Burton can keep this up on the ground. They've got 116 yards, 60 through the air, a couple of big passing plays that they've put together to get those up to 179 total yards to 138 for Murphysboro.
Third down conversions, 2 for 3 for Richard Burton and 4 for 8 for Murphysboro. Time of possession, 16-38 for Murphysboro, but still no points on the board.
Yeah, they've dominated possession, but it doesn't really matter if you're not putting the ball in the end zone, right?
It doesn't matter at all. You got to have that big play to get in the end zone and put some points on the board. That possibly could happen in the second half. What do you think Richard Burton does to try to keep the momentum going?
I think they try to keep pounding the rock. They've got the size advantage, so I think they're going to try and feed Dalton Wood quite a bit here this half. I think he's been kind of their bell cow all season long. He's rushed for more than 1,600 yards now, so I think he's going to kind of carry a lot of the load this half and see if they can, eat some time off the clock, get some big, long drives that result in some points and maybe kind of break the will of Murphysboro. But the Red Devils have been resilient here throughout the postseason.
All right, Derek, we're going to take a short break. When we come back, we'll have more insight and analysis, more action coming up here at NIU as the Class 4A championship game rolls on.
The new $3 Little John from Jimmy John's is just like our original sandwiches, only littler. So we bought a little ad on Lil John.
Little John, yeah! $3, what?
My name is Ed Marshall, and I'm a Local 2 laborer with KS Energy. One of my most memorable moments of high school was my freshman year when my high school won the state championship in football. What I saw from the upperclassmen was the teamwork that it took to win that state championship. Those guys, many of which went on to become Division I football players, some of which went into the pros, they worked together and they showed us younger fellas what it took to achieve their goals by hard work and dedication. When you're a freshman, you're just trying to survive, but with a lot of hard work and dedication, you end up thriving. So that's what I take with me now. From the Lyona Apprenticeship Program, where guys come in green and who are just trying to survive, with hard work and dedication, they learn to work together as a team, that they can get the job done.
This is a Jimmy John's sandwich, made with all natural meats, hand-sliced veggies, and fresh-baked bread. And this is the new Little John, available for only $3. They're almost identical. Almost. Good job. Okay.
Richmond-Burton shutting out Murphysboro 17-0 at the half, just moments away from getting started, but we are ready to meet up with Derek Bain and the head coach from Murphysboro. That's Gary Carter.
Here with Murphysboro coach Gary Carter. Gary, what's the key to bouncing back here in the second half and trying to get something going against their strong defense?
We just got to keep playing. I mean, our kids got to just keep fighting and battle. I mean, they're in a state championship game. We knew they were going to be a good football team. We just got to keep our heads up, and our body language needs to improve. We just need to come out and just keep our heads up, keep battling, and leave it right here on the field this half.
You've been resilient all postseason. Does that give you guys confidence moving forward?
Well, yeah. I mean, we're playing a really good football team and a good, well-coached team. I mean, we just got to play our best. And right now I don't think we're playing our best. And if we come out and can put some things together and hopefully make a game of it.
All right. Good luck in the second half, coach.
Thank you.
All right. Murphysboro going to try to bounce back here in the second half, down 17-0. We'll see what happens, guys.
All right, thank you very much, Derek. Indeed, it's a game that has been controlled by Richmond-Burton. In terms of the scoreboard, 17-0. Murphysboro, their deepest drive of the game, to the 23-yard line. And they spotlighted, Tony and Derek did the numbers in terms of time of possession, in terms of the number of plays. Murphysboro running 35 plays to Richmond-Burton's 19. So how does RB control this game with those kind of numbers?
Well, they've had more big plays. They've averaged 9.7 yards per play, only 19 snaps of the football, but you're averaging almost 10 yards a snap. That's the way you get it done. Now, Murphysboro, they've run 35 plays, but less than 4 yards per snap. So for the most part, that's that bend, but don't break cliche mentality. Richmond-Burton has negated any kind of explosive play by Murphysboro. If they continue to do that and value the football, they'll be in good shape. Murphysboro, they have to score very early in this third quarter. And I really like what Coach Gary Carter said about his team's body language. I know you and I both believe in that. And to get that body language back, you have to have something good or create something good to happen for yourself, so you get that, what I call, believability factor back on your side.
Well, as we mentioned, for Murphysboro, they believed in that quarterfinal win over Bishop McNamara, game-winning drive that took it all the way down to the final 40 seconds, and then the win in overtime over Effingham in the semifinals to get them here. You take a look at Gary Carter. He was 1983 member of the 1983 Southern Illinois University National Championship team. He has been at Murphysboro for 9 years. They hadn't made the playoffs for 14 years prior to him coming there, but in the fourth year, they make the playoffs, and here in his ninth, they're playing in a state title ball game.
And they won some quality games down the stretch. They beat 3 undefeated teams. Week 8, Week 9, Week 11, they beat undefeated teams. So they have definitely earned their stripes as this playoff run, and the road to DeKalb has gone through.
There is Nick Legnioli. He's accounted for 10 of the 17 points for Richmond-Burton. He will be back to receive this kick. Remember, Murphysboro won the toss. They wanted the ball to begin the ball game. And Jameer Frazier will tee this ball up, the All-Stater. All-Stater on both sides of the line. He also does the kicking off for the Red Devils. 11-2 on the season, 1 loss on the field. That came in the week. 1 loss to Carbondale, then lost a game due to forfeit due to a teacher strike. And on the other side, Richmond-Burton 13-0 on the season. And our 4A second half begins. This return is a return right. Legnioli is able to break it free to the 45-50. The little move there. He cuts across the field. Look at this. Look at Nick Legnioli. A kickoff return for a score. Spectacular.
Oh, my, oh, my. What an exhilarating run to watch that young man get to the house.
Here is your U.S. Marines play of the game. What a fantastic return. Just watch and enjoy. That little stutter step, turned the corner, his speed did the rest. 88-yard touchdown run for Legnioli to open up the second half.
And how patient was he? A couple different occasions in that run where he let people run by him. He let a block develop. He made cuts back against the grain, not once, but not twice. And about the 25-yard line, you could see it from up here. He was going to make a house call. He did just that. 5'8", 155. And a speedster.
He got 6 points on an 88-yard run. He's going to get one more point with that extra point. So without running a play from scrimmage, Richmond-Burton strikes in a big way. 88-yard kickoff return for Nick Legnioli.
They call him the fastest rocket, and we just saw him take off in full speed ahead. A three-sport athlete, basketball, football, and track. He does it all. And you could just see his vision. With one really nice block point of attack by Hudson. Now watch a delay. And another delay. And a cutback. And Church is out.
Boy, and once he made that move to his left, he knew he had it. What a way to start the second half in a championship ball game. Legnioli will change those shoes. He probably burned his way out of the kickoff return shoes.
You know, they play him at fullback. They play him at tailback. They play him at a wingback. They play him at a wide receiver. They play him as a field goal kicker, as an extra pointer, to kickoff returner. I mean, Mr. Versatility.
In the semifinal, you've seen what he's done here in the championship game. In the semifinal against Coal City, Legnioli had a field goal. He had an 80-yard run. He had a touchdown rushing. He had a 47-yard TD reception. He had 2 interceptions and 1 forced fumble.
Yeah, he did. And then you go way back to the first round. He had 2 interceptions. I mean, the guy does everything. And I know you're going to say, right. But I just had a feeling he was going to do that. I didn't say it right.
Can you tell by the look on my face? I'm skeptical. Murphysboro had to start from their 20-yard line. Boy, I pity the fans that were out getting their little popcorn or hot chocolate.
That was a fun run to watch.
Well, it is 24-0. That's the bottom line.
And I could tell, honestly, by your play-by-play, your voice influx, you saw it developing. You really did. That was a fun one to call and a fun one to watch.
And now it's time for the Red Devils to make something happen, and they've been able to gain their yardage, but they need a big play here. Motion to Clark, and they'll pitch his way. Desmond Clark will be run out of bounds, gets about 5 on first down.
Nice play by Max Lomas, 6'2" defensive back, comes up to make that stop. You're one-on-one on the edge against Clark. You have your work cut out for you, but you stay square, you keep your feet, you keep your eyes, you drive through the football, and you make a pretty solid stop against a really special back.
We talked to Gary Carter. You mentioned he doesn't like their body language. You could tell the way they broke the huddle. They did not break that huddle crisply. Now here's a little misdirection. That'll be enough for a first down.
Yeah, counter action. You get right now. You can see they're making a conscious effort to get Clark touches. That's something they would have talked about at halftime. He is their best threat to make a big chunk play and get to the house and try to get something going for his football team.
There's Jamar McZeek, 6-foot senior quarterback. Now keep it on the ground. And a fumble. And things are going the Rockets' way. With the ball is Logan Hudson.
So a stick, a stop, and a turnover. A jarring hit. Hudson right there has that ball carried off the ground. Really nice pop and a strip right there from behind. The strip goes.
I think that might have been Blake Morgel with
46.
the strip. Fumbles have been a problem for Murphysboro this season. They give up one there and open the door here to the Richmond-Burton Rockets. Let's see how quickly they will look to strike.
They got Hudson one-on-one.
Legnioli, the quick handoff. That young man gets from one point to another in a hurry.
I just like the way he came through the line of scrimmage. Both arms around the football.
Legnioli, just a junior. Three-sport athlete, football, basketball, track. Dalton Woods at fullback. He'll get the call. Ooh, hit hard and ridden down. Kevin Kirkwood, number 3, just jumped on Woods' back and wrestled him to the turf.
Richmond-Burton not in any kind of slowdown, but definitely not playing with tempo at all. Just staying with the pace that has been good to them, helping them establish a 24-0 lead. 10:16 to go, quarter number 3.
Now the pitch to Wood. Grab from behind on the stops. 47, Zane Caraway. Jameer Frazier was also in there as well.
Boy, Frazier is such a specimen. He's 6 foot 220, but he can play sideline to sideline. A good picture of him right there. All-state player and one of their emotional guys. Does a little bit of everything for them.
It's the 4th time tonight that Richmond-Burton has been in the red zone. Wood, a little hesitation move, stays in his feet long enough to get a first down, just outside the 10.
Little toss sweep, and what this does is it helps Wood to start going downhill. See, on the sweep, he's already squared his shoulders to the line of scrimmage where he can go downhill right into the teeth of the defense. It allows him better vision as well as he can see in panoramic view of the entire defense of where they're coming at him from what angle.
This big offensive line will head to the ball that sits at the 11-yard line. Spinning, reaching, Tyler Anderson will get to the 5.
Takes that club, his left hand bandaged heavily. Protection there. There's Wood. And there's that big club on the left hand. Right there. Great shot of it.
I'll say that Anderson went down at the 7. Rockets need to get to the 1-yard line for a first down. Wood picks a spot, drives forward, legs churning, and Dalton Wood uses his strength to go into the end zone from 7 yards out. And it is a 30-0 lead.
Sometimes the game isn't always played fast, it's played slow. Because he waits right there. That hesitation allows him to pick his hole, to read the blocks at the second level, and then finds himself paid with a pat on a helmet from his teammate. Right there, see that hesitation? That was his ability to wait and allow the play to develop.
The fumble recovery by Hudson sets up the touchdown run from Wood. Legnioli will send it through for a 31-0 lead for Richmond-Burton. They have scored every time they have touched the ball, and they have racked up 31 points here early in the 3rd quarter. And that is flat out strength with some big guys in front of you.
I had a client run a red light, hit a minivan, even got the ticket. Minivan calls for medical bills and lost wages.
How did you deny the claim?
I used the old blame the victim trick. Thank you.
Blame the victim. I love it. What is it?
Minivan hired Strong Law. They know all my tricks.
But if they can get to you, they can get to all of us.
Accident claim denied? Get Strong.
How's your checking account looking? Half full? Half empty? Low? It happens. Then payday rolls around and you're good. So why do banks charge a monthly fee if you don't keep a big minimum balance in your checking? At SEFCU, there's no minimum balance, no monthly fee. So you get everything you want. SEFCU, not a bank, better.
With Mark Lindo, I'm Dave Bernhardt. Let's check in with Derek Bain.
Yeah, Mark and Dave, Nick Legnioli's kind of become the star of the night here for Richmond-Burton. He's getting set to kick off here after that touchdown from Dalton Wood. Nick Legnioli, though, I mean, you might remember Cordell Stewart being called Slash back in the 90s. I think Legnioli might be Super Slash. Listen to what he does for this team. He's their leading tackler. He's their kicker, as you see right here, and he also kicked that point after. He's the punter. He's their second leading rusher. He's their second leading scorer, the third leading wide receiver, and obviously he's also a pretty good kick returner, as we saw to start this second half. So Nick Legnioli does just about everything for this team, and he's helped him build up to a 31-0 lead now with 8:15 left in the third quarter.
And here's all he's done tonight. He's got a kick return for a TD run, a field goal, 3 extra points. I guess he just kicked a touchback right there. So add that to it. What hasn't he done? What a fun player to watch, who's just been so exciting every time he's around the football.
Well, as you know, as Derek said, here's a guy that this is what he does for this team, but when you do it in the biggest stage of them all, that's really special. What a special night he's had. What a special night so far Richmond-Burton has had. A 31-0 lead here. We still have 8:15 to play in the third quarter. Red Devils to stay on the ground. A pitch to Desmond Clark, a yard. The ball came free, but he was down. That last touchdown drive for Richmond-Burton, 6 plays, and it all came on the ground.
They extend this play. Hit the ball to the edge. The ball pops out for just a minute, but the knee was down before Richmond-Burton can fall on it.
Now you look at number 35 there and you think, well, that's the way you want to play, right? Play on all sides of the ball, never leave the field.
Is he going to get an interception tonight?
Short gain on that play. You'll count the number of maroon jerseys there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 right there on the ball. Middle of your picture, number 66, Nicholas Ross. You see Tyler Anderson. He goes both ways along with Dalton Wood. Dalton Wood's younger brother, Brock Wood, also on the defensive side of the ball. A shutout win over Cole City in the semifinals, 30-0, and the Rockets are pitching one here. McZeke able to throw in the run, and then able to come up with it is Clark, and he is disappointed in himself.
But watch right when the ball gets to Clark, Dalton Wood. Watch his right arm get right on Clark to knock it away right. A little bit late. I guess that was a drop before out in the flat. And he is disappointed in himself.
So that becomes a quick 3-and-out here for the Red Devils.
And that body language showed something as well. Clark frustrated with himself and for his team.
Tough punting night for Ryan Finke. Ooh, and that nearly hit one of the Richmond-Burton players, but that ball is going to roll dead at the 40-yard line. Preparing for your financial future doesn't have to be complicated. Take it one simple step at a time at TakeSimpleSteps.com. Kudos to our entire IHSA TV crew, especially those folks who have been working outside in what is a very uncomfortable day. Very cold, brisk day. Luckily for everyone, we haven't had much wind, but you talk about a day that gets started game-wise, broadcast-wise at 10 a.m. and extends for 12 hours. That is quite the impressive effort that our folks put in. And that includes people outside, people inside the truck, and our big thanks go out to everybody to bring these games to you. Really, 5-yard pickup on first down.
Really nice stop by Gavin Kuba, their leading tackler from the safety position. 64 tackles on the year. Does all the work for his football team. Makes sure they're lined up correctly. All conference player, very physical. And you saw his speed to the outside to make a tackle there.
You mentioned it earlier, but Richmond-Burton will not hurry up to the line with a 31-0 lead. Play clock's down to 5. Wood, nice cut at the line of scrimmage. Dalton Wood will be inside the 20. Well, you talk about planting a foot and cutting through a hole. That's what Dalton Wood did right here.
Boy, that was a quick cut. Put the cleats in the ground and make a cut, utilizing that turf field at NIU. Ability to throw his hips after he put his cleat in the ground. Balance, vision, and acceleration.
Murphysboro was happy to get up here on the turf field as well. It would highlight their speed.
Yeah, they played a little bit of mud last weekend in their semifinal win.
Same play to Wood. Two weeks ago, it was a a penalty flag comes out. A little bit of John going on down there. Richmond-Burton on their home field in the win over IC Catholic. That was a rough go. Of course, those were the weeks that we had snow and rain, and depending what part of the state you're at, your natural grass turfs can be messed up.
Ball foul. Unsportsmanlike conduct. Number 3 on the defense.
And times are tough right now for the Red Devils. It's now 1st and goal from the 8-yard line.
So Red Devils coach Gary Carter told us at halftime he wanted that confidence, that body language to turn around, and it's hard to do when Richmond-Burton has continued to take the game right at them, including the opening kickoff of the half.
Anderson will pick his spots, bounces through, and Tyler Anderson will go in for the 8-yard touchdown run. 37-0.
Club or no club on his hand, he knows where the end zone's at. Covers up with 2 hands, puts his head down, knows he's going to take a pop at the goal line, but knows he's over that marker in the end zone to get his team their 37th and would-be 38th point up on the board. They're just punishing him up front. The offensive line, just domination.
Well, you rattled them off. Lucas Eckert, Conrad Miller, Enzo Martinez, Matthew Hood, and Tyler Roberts have had their way tonight. And then you throw in the 3-headed backfield of Legnioli, Wood, and Anderson. And it adds up to a 38-0 lead. We have a late penalty flag thrown just as that ball goes through.
Personal foul. Roughing the kicker on defense, number 6. The penalty will be enforced on the kickoff.
5:05 to play in the 3rd quarter. It is all Rockets, 38-0 in your 4A championship ball game.
Third generation union labor. Love fishing and hunting. And love construction.
All the benefits, the insurance, the pay.
Well, it's given me insurance that I've got for my kids. The money I make, I've been able to go on vacations when I want to.
High school sports fans, relive your favorite moments.
Just click the shopping cart below the video player and select DVD or digital copy to get yours today.
This broadcast is copyrighted by Quincy Media Incorporated, the NFHS Network, and the IHSA. Any other use of this broadcast or internet stream without the express written consent of Quincy Media Incorporated, the NFHS Network, and the IHSA is strictly prohibited and a violation of U.S. copyright law.
Domination from Richmond-Burton here tonight. A battle of two teams from opposite corners of the state, 400 miles apart. And RB has absolutely taken it to Murphysboro. In fact, they've taken it to pretty much everybody they have played this season. This one just happens to be coming in the championship game. Ball teed up at the 45-yard line of Murphysboro following that 15-yard penalty on the roughing the kicker call.
So 38 points to the board, but their defense has allowed a point for at least 6 quarters now.
Murphysboro was able to move the ball a little bit in the first half, got as far as the 23-yard line of Richmond-Burton, and that was it. There's Nick Legnioli. You have to total up how many points that young man has, because he has all the extra points tonight, throwing a field goal, a couple of touchdowns, actually one of 14 yards, one of 88 yards, and a kickoff return. That 88-yarder, that's how he started this second half. A little bit of room off that right side. Zane Caraway not too happy at how he was treated as he was going around that end.
Murphysboro got new turf this year. They were only able to practice on it one time before their first game. And because the turf was being installed, they had a little bit of adversity. They had to practice at the junior high in their, their summer workouts. So it was a little bit of a slow start. And then the Carbondale loss and the teacher strike, they got off to a tough start, but they were able to right the ship to get to DeKalb.
Well, it is true. It's been a season of fighting through adversity. The resiliency that these players have shown has been so very impressive, getting them, Murphysboro, the co-op, to the state football finals for the first time ever. It was the first time in the semifinals since 1988. In fact, they had to win close games all the way through. Total margin of victory through the playoffs was 30 points. First down pickup, Desmond Clark.
Gary Carter's teams played a lot of football, though. Most of their seniors have been around for 3-year play. They played 31 varsity games. I mean, that's a team full of experience.
Carter began his coaching career in 1994 at East Alton Wood River. Finished 0-9 that year. He was there for 13 years, then went to Jersey High School. 4 years there, and now, as we said, the 9th year at Murphysboro.
53-37 at Murphysboro, so he's righted the ship. After 4 and 5 and 3 and 6 seasons to start things, he got his program rolling.
Second down, Clark wants to get to that edge. He gets there, just doesn't have enough to turn that corner. You know, we make a lot about Richmond-Burton's size on the lines, but they've got some speed in their other positions. Secondary, they're able to pursue sideline to sideline. One of those players right there, he doubles up on offense. That's number 43, Dalton Wood.
Talk about guys that played a lot of football. He certainly has.
They're down a couple yards to go here for the Red Devils. Clark is not going to get it.
Penetration on the inside by Lucas Earhart, who was the first one to bust things up. Then coming and finishing things with Tyler Anderson. You talk about finishing things. That's the back of his shirt, and his team just finished that play. And a smile on his face as he know they're close to finishing a state championship season.
Mike Knoll, the head coach for Richmond-Burton. A lot of folks were pulling for him. With the career he's had, the Hall of Famer. 4th and 2, Red Devils to go for it. McZeek to keep it. McZeek in trouble. McZeek is going down. They just kept on coming. Number 34 is Brock Wood. He's the sophomore, the younger brother of Dalton Wood. Here they come. He was grabbed initially by Blake Morgel. McZeek couldn't get away as he got help from Wood. And the ball will go back to the Rockets.
Well, complementary football sometimes mean the offense and what they do to turn over the defense and vice versa. Complementary football there was a couple different guys complementing each other to get to the football and make a play.
Great field position here for RB, starting at the 31. Blockers in front. The cut by Anderson to the 5. He's in. Touchdown. One play, 31 yards. Check that. That is Ray Gajardo. Ray Gajardo gets his touch. Ray Gajardo gets 6.
5'10", 165, and in the end zone. Nice blocking up front, a good cut, a nice kickback block. And then speed to Byrne to get to the end zone. How's that for your first touch of the night? You get to pay dirt. Chunk plays, explosive plays, home run plays. However you want to describe them, that's the way Richmond-Burton is scoring right now. Quick as lightning are the Rockets.
Gajardo, who stepped in, played some tailback when Tyler Anderson was out. He gets the call here. He goes in from 31 yards out following the change of possession on downs. And a 44-0 lead for Richmond-Burton, and that will trigger the running clock. In high school football, you get up by 40 or more in the second half. That clock will run except for scores and injuries. And that's where Richmond-Burton has put it right now.
We thought they played a very, very solid first half with that lead they built. And the second half has just been clicking in every phase of football.
This is the final game of the day. We've had 3 state champions crowned already, getting ready for a 4th. It all got started this morning at 10 a.m. That's when Lena Winslow pounded Central A&M 58-20. Lena Winslow claiming its 4th state championship. Newman Central Catholic, that 21-point win, is the 6th title in Newman Central Catholic history. Then earlier this evening, Williamsville in a thriller 46-42 record-setting game to claim its 1st state championship. And you see what our score is sitting right now in the 4A game. After this kickoff, we can show you what's coming up tomorrow. In fact, here it comes at you right now. Oh, we'll get it. There's Desmond Clark. He'll be back to return this kick. And inside the 10-yard line. Now they'll run a reverse. And they do to Clark. Clark along the sideline. He makes a move. Desmond Clark. Now it's a race. Desmond Clark is going to go. Our second kickoff return for a touchdown tonight. We have one each way. Desmond Clark will get this one for the Red Devils.
You see Hobinstead, he can get it done, but Clark a little bit more speed on the reverse. Really nice block in space out there on the outside by Jaquan Jackson. And then it's Clark down the sideline. Too much speed to burn.
90-yard kickoff return for Desmond Clark. He picked his way. He accelerates. And he's going to outrun everybody.
2 kickoff return touchdowns tonight, 1 for each team. Big plays by special teams.
The extra point attempt from Jake Addig. And the Murphysboro fans have something to cheer about here in DeKalb. Well, this reverse, you saw it coming all the way. And Clark makes the most of it.
He had one lane that needed to be open. It certainly was. And the only man with a chance to get him was Lana Jacoby, but Clark just too much speed.
So Desmond Clark could have had some frustrating moments tonight. Not this time. Tomorrow we're going to get you started at 10 o'clock in the morning, and we'll get going in a very interesting game. St. Rita, don't be fooled by those 3 losses, take on longtime Class 4A power Rochester. That's how we get started. And then the team that some folks say is the best in Illinois, East St. Louis Senior, taking on Prairie Ridge. And get ready for the games Mark and I will have in the afternoon, late afternoon, early evening. That's right, 13-0, 13-0. You've got Nazareth Academy, Mount Carmel, and if 2 undefeated teams aren't enough for you in 7A, how about 8A? We do it again. Maybe the 2 best defenses in the state. Lincoln Way East and Warren Township. What a day of high school football tomorrow for you here on the IHSA TV network.
8 teams tomorrow, combined 5 losses. The 7 and 8A game, not a loss on the board.
And here comes the little short punch kick, and that's a free ball. Gajardo to pick it up. Richmond-Burton will start it. The clock continues to run. Of course, once it hits the 40-point mark, it doesn't matter if the score goes underneath 40. It will continue to run. We had 1 running clock earlier today. That's when Lena Winslow, in a dominating championship performance, knocked off Central A&M. And we pick up 1 here to close the day.
Nice to see Murphysboro, though, make a play on special teams, then make another play there on coverage on special teams, and have a little bit of excitement, a little bit of positive emotion that they can carry with them the last 13 minutes of this football game. Sometimes it just takes 1 play to give you a little bit of spark.
This is Anderson. Tripped up, but not after a gain of 8.
Hey, tighten your splits a little.
Final minute of the 3rd quarter. Remember how this quarter started, or how this second half started? Nick Legnioli took the kickoff, 88 yards for a score. And that turned a 17-0 lead into 24-0. Touchdown runs from Wood, Anderson, and Gajardo before Desmond Clark's 90-yard kickoff return. First down run to the outside. Anderson with the carry again.
Heard the coaching staff from Richmond-Burton say, hey, tighten your splits just a little bit. And they did just that. That means the offensive line got a little bit closer to each other. What their splits are, we're not privy to, but they're side to side, pad to pad level. Got a little bit tighter. They were able to bump that ball to the outside.
Each team will head to their sidelines. Mike Knoll is 12 minutes away from winning a state championship. Richmond-Burton on top of Murphysboro. Here in your 4A championship game, it's 44-7.
Heart of Illinois ABC, bringing you in-depth reporting.
I want to do the story because there are 800,000 people in Illinois that are in line to have their records cleared.
Reports you won't see anywhere else.
I talk to researchers and I talk to cheerleaders about how much intentional work is being done to protect athletes.
Stories important to you.
I hope the viewers understand the process of a seasonal forecast. It's very different than our 7-day forecast.
Heart of Illinois ABC, local, social.
Come on out to Shabana Creek RV in Atkinson, Illinois. We take pride in what we sell.
Like this 1998 Southwind 32-foot.
It was sold here new by me back 21 years ago, and it's still really, really awesome and priced at $29,995.
Like this 2009 Fleetwood Bounder 35-footer.
It was sold here new in 2009 and sold for over $125,000, and now it's priced at $56,995.
Shabana Creek RV, Atkinson, Illinois.
Prepare to explore the mind of the most influential artist, inventor, and engineer. Peoria Riverfront Museum presents Da Vinci, the Genius, the world's most comprehensive hands-on exhibition on Leonardo da Vinci to tour the world. Discover the secrets of the Mona Lisa and explore his most amazing creations. See Da Vinci, the Genius, only at the Riverfront Museum.
A great bank begins with great relationships. Great relationships with local businesses and everyday customers like Les and Jenny, who bought their new home with the help of Better Banks, and Rachel, who came to us when she wanted her first car, or the college fund that we helped Courtney and Zach set up for their future graduate. Banking is about relationships, and Better Banks knows that. Since 1898, we've been listening to our customers and committed to our community. Bank better with Better Banks.
IHSA Football State Championships are brought to you by Country Financial. Preparing your financial future doesn't have to be complicated. Take it one simple step at a time at TakeSimpleSteps.com.
We welcome you back to Husky Stadium here on the campus of Northern Illinois University. A full day of football today, a full day of football tomorrow. I'm Dave Bernhardt. Alongside is Mark Lindo. Derek Bain is on the sidelines. Our host today has been Tony Cornish Jr. We have 12 minutes of football to play as Richmond-Burton will be looking for its first state championship since 1992 and their first undefeated season ever. Looking for a block to the outside, looking to turn the corner. There he goes. It's another touchdown run for Nick Legnioli. And that's how we start the fourth quarter. Our 50th point of the game.
How about the pancake by Dalton Wood right here? Kaboom! And that frees Legnioli.
And there is your Liuna player of the game, Nick Legnioli. Had an 88-yard touchdown run to start the third quarter. He has a 63-yard touchdown run here to start the fourth quarter. That 88-yarder came on the opening kickoff return.
What a block that was, though. I know the run, but how about that block? He just pancaked the corner on that side. And Legnioli, my goodness, he knows how to do the rest.
Every single time that Richmond-Burton has touched the ball today, they have scored.
Kick was deflected and hit the crossbar, but you know what? It just doesn't matter.
Now when you look up and you see 50 points on the board, and this is how they picked up the last attempted point. A block, no. 50-7. Just 10 seconds into the fourth quarter. Legnioli will hang on to that football. He's going to kick it off. That touchdown run for Legnioli puts his total yardage up 105 yards, and Derek Bain's going to tell us more about the junior.
Yeah, Legnioli, in between the third and fourth quarter there, he had a little blood on his leg, and they tried to wipe it off. Didn't quite come off. The refs say, hey, he's got to come off. So you might see a little bit of black tape around his right leg right now. That's what that's from, but they wrapped it up, and I guess it's a good thing they did that.
Yeah. Boy, he's living the dream tonight, isn't he? My goodness. You know, 8 years ago, Richmond-Burton finished second. So all these seniors you're talking about, Legnioli only a junior, but the seniors on this team, they were fourth graders. A lot of them probably dreamed of someday doing this themselves, and they've lived the dream.
Yep.
You know, Richmond-Burton, you know, Mike Newell knew when he took over. Richmond-Burton's been a player, if you will, a bona fide high school, solid, good program since the 80s. So they know how to win there.
Puts a pretty good foot into this one, and that will be a touchback. The regular season, Richmond-Burton only played 2 teams that qualified for the playoffs. So that was maybe one of the reasons that some folks didn't really know how good this Rocket team was entering the playoffs. In fact, the best they could get was a dark horse mention on the IHSA playoff pairing show. And they took that and they rode that horse. And they've ridden it all the way here to DeKalb, and a very, very difficult North bracket in Class 4A. Defeated 3-time defending state champ IC Catholic, and then came back the next week and shut out Cole City. And only that kickoff return by Desmond Clark a little while ago is preventing this from being yet another shutout. Aiden McNitt will get the call.
We just had a shot of Mike Nola a moment ago, and I kind of chuckled to myself because the score is 50-7, and he's still down there coaching and putting in players and substituting. And you know, you caught up in the game. You really don't know you won yet. We know his team has won the football game, but when you're coaching that game, you're caught up in the next play, the next play, the next play.
Coming to this side is Clark. Well contained. He was trying to work off a block of Jake Hoppenstedt. Third down, about 3.
Really solid block by Aiden McNitt at the point of attack as well. When backs block for each other, they complement each other's running game. So it's basically, I do this for you, you do this for me.
Quarterback Jamar McZeek. And here they come on a reverse up the middle, good enough for a first down. Once again, it's Clark. You see the quick feed from Desmond Clark. Here's a little backfield trickery.
A little reverse. Try to go misdirection.
Dalton Wood flings Clark down to the ground.
Dalton Wood came in with 78 tackles. He's had a handful tonight. Great nose for the football.
Nothing up the middle and nothing to the outside. Lucas Eckhart, number 52, 6'6", 255-pound junior, stops Clark in his tracks.
Eckhart can run because he lines up at a defensive end position in a 3-man front, and he basically runs down the speedy Clark from the boundary side of the field.
Rolling left, throwing left. Hoppenstedt, who is in motion, will make the catch, and it will be another first down for the Red Devils. Jake Hoppenstedt, one of those players that Gary Carter says, you know, he just understands the game. He's not just a runner. He understands that blocking and faking is important. And indeed, when he was going in motion, he was probably somewhat of a decoy at that point until all of a sudden he became involved in the play.
Yeah, he did a really nice job. A little bit of a low pass, but he was able to get his hands underneath the football, gather it in.
Now he will get the carry. He will get up to midfield. Of course, the clock continuing to run. We are in the running clock situation. That happened as soon as it was 44-0 after Ray Gajardo's 31-yard touchdown run with a couple of minutes left in the third quarter. Deepest the Murphysboro offense been able to get was a 23-yard line. That came in the first half. McZeek on the run. And a night like this, that's a tough ball to handle for McNitt. You know, Murphysboro being in the southwestern portion of the state, south of St. Louis, you wonder how many games they have played in 35-degree weather. And that is the state we are in. You have Richmond-Burton up there nearly in Wisconsin, and then all the way to the other end for Murphysboro.
And the two meet in DeKalb, Illinois, the state championship battle the day after Thanksgiving.
Trying to stretch it to the outside, and the stretching is done by the RB defense. Number 22 gets a pad on the helmet for Richmond-Burton. Good job by Landon Jacoby. Jacoby, a 5'9" sophomore.
So much speed on Richmond-Burton's front 7 of their defense, or front 8 when they play a 3-5, because they're able to just continue to string things out sideline to sideline, not let any vertical cut be made until they funnel the ball back to the middle where tackles are being made.
McNitt is able to angle his way to another first down to the 35-yard line. Aiden McNitt.
Really good job by McNitt. You'll see they try to punch the ball out right there, but he's able to keep control of the football, three-point the football. Ball security right there, a nice run. Murphysboro continues to churn out some yards on this possession.
12 yards on that last pickup. Once again, rolling left, throwing left. McNitt on the receiving end of that pass from McZeke.
McZeke does a really nice job anytime he rolls out. He's a threat to run the football, but even going to his left, he's able to square up and deliver the ball out into the flat.
Well, he's gone to his left most of his passes tonight, and he seems very comfortable with that. Hoppenstead delaying for just a moment. And that should be enough for yet another first down. That's one thing the Red Devils would like to do. They got a touchdown on the board. It came on a kickoff return. They'd sure like to do one here as part of their regular offense. And this has now become their deepest penetration into Richmond-Burton territory tonight. Right now the Red Devils just going right at him.
Murphysboro, the barbecue capital of the state of Illinois.
How about that?
So how many places could I visit down there?
Yeah.
I would try them all. I'd go right to the burnt ends. I know that.
Hoppenstead running behind the wall. He's inside the 10-yard line.
Jake Hoppenstead on the carry. By Brock Wood.
Hoppenstead running behind number 50. That's Darius Campbell, his right guard. Pulling on the play, and now it's a first down and goal.
Hoppenstead a little bit of a rhythm running the football on this drive.
Try the fullback up the middle, big yard. And this possession has been Aiden McNitt's time to play the fullback position.
McNitt really strong. 6'3", 185.
Murphysboro about ready to run the 15th play of this drive. And it will result in a touchdown. Desmond Clark will get his second touchdown of this quarter. It's a 5-yard run on the 15th play of the drive.
What an excellent drive it was. Clark knows where the end zone's at. Drags the last man, Hoppenstead, into the end zone. And hits pay dirt. A little bit of consolation prize there for Murphysboro. Playing hard to the end of this football game, even with a large deficit. Tip your cap to Gary Carter's team.
They'll pick up an extra point from Jake Attic. 50-13. That's the 4A score. 3 minutes to play.
Western Illinois University is here to serve your future. Large enough to provide opportunities, small enough to connect you to them. Your potential is our purpose. Explore your talents in a place you belong.
Start your new year off with a new career with NECA IBEW. Earn as you learn as an apprentice in the electrical industry. NECA IBEW is now accepting applications from 9 to 4 on December 2nd through 7th. Each applicant will be interviewed prior to hire. As an electrical apprentice, you'll be highly paid, receive benefits, and get hands-on training in our 23,000 square foot training facility in Bartonville.
NECA IBEW has one of the best healthcare and pension plans in the industry. Your future starts here.
Apply now for this electrical apprenticeship.
(50-14) as the clock stops here between the touchdown and the ensuing kickoff. We anticipate some sort of onside kickoff attempt here from Murphysboro. The Red Devils have not given up in this one. On the other side, Richmond-Burton absolutely dominating here this evening. This is maybe about as clear-cut of a dominating performance as we've seen in some time in a championship ball game from a team that's done it on both sides of the ball. Now, granted, they've given up a kickoff return for a touchdown and then 15-play drive here to a score, but boy, the Rockets have been absolutely outstanding tonight.
Well, their defense has been stellar, and everybody's going to talk about Legnioli and Wood. I tell you what, offensive line, it's been their night to shine.
15-yard penalty against Richmond-Burton. And Jameer Frazier will just send it down, and the Rockets will go down. They'll take a knee. They don't want to give the ball up there. 50-14. A little under 3 minutes to play. We'll be back after this.
Not only is Country Financial our insurance, but they treated us like family.
Relationships are the single most important piece of the puzzle. We always ask this question: what is the right thing to do?
It's not just the ships, the armor, or the aircraft. It's something more. It's the will to fight and determination to win, found inside each and every Marine that answers a nation's call. Battles won.
There have been some points put on this scoreboard here at Husky Stadium here today. This is the second game that has had 50 or more points by the leading team. Last game, 46-42 the 3A championship game. Williamsville defeating Byron in a record-setting game, over 1,100 yards combined offense. A record for a 3A game in total yardage was broken in that game in the first half. New players in for Richmond-Burton on the offensive side of the ball. And being wrestled to the ground is Brock Wood, the younger brother of Dalton Wood. He's the sophomore.
Gets his first touch. Got some new linemen, some road graders in there. Mitch Durham's in there, Max Wardanian, Tommy Cooper, Ryan Morse. All those guys getting a chance to open a seam. Brock Wood took advantage.
Steven Stinches, the quarterback, the senior for the Rockets.
Landon Jacoby in. Stinches checks in at quarterback. There'll be a couple more snaps in this football game for him.
Carry that time once again by Brock Wood.
Nathaniel Comar in at offensive line.
Caden Lindholm comes running in. That'll be it tonight for Brock Wood.
Alex Johnson checks in. So the coaching staff of Richmond-Burton doing a great job right now, making sure everybody's getting an opportunity to run on that field.
That is not necessarily something you game plan for coming into championship week. And they're doing it here. And now a flag goes down, and the play will have to be stopped. The clock will continue to run. So I hope they can get this play set.
That ball foul. Delay of game on the offense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Well, there you go. They took a little too much time getting all those players into the game.
But it's all for good.
It is.
Not for naught. It's all for good.
Get out there on that championship field.
Royce Haney checks in.
And now the Richmond-Burton fans will once again come to their feet. They are looking at quite possibly the last snap of this game. Royce Haney with the carry on that one. And for the first time since 1992, second time in school history, Richmond-Burton will win a state football championship. And for Hall of Fame coach Mike Knoll, he wins his first state title and he's drenched. Final score, Richmond-Burton 50, Murphysboro 14. What a year for Mike Knoll, inducted into the High School Hall of Fame, and then he follows it up with a state football championship. With the team he believed in, he moved over his second year here at Richmond-Burton, and they absolutely rolled here tonight as they did through the playoffs. Congratulations to the Rockets from Richmond-Burton.
Just domination in every facet of the football game. They got it done on offense. They got it done on defense. They got it done on special teams. They made plays after play after play from a myriad of contributors. All started up front. Some skill guys did the job, and the smile of a champion right there.
And that is a cold shower on a cold night, and he couldn't be happier.
It feels so good.
50-44 your final here in Class 4A. Congratulations to the Rockets. We'll step aside for a moment and be back with more from Husky Stadium here in the IHSA TV network.
Ripped off, swindled, cheated. You need the Heart of Illinois ABC troubleshooters. Jessica Cook, Donnie Tillman. They get the answers when you've been told no. Working for you, getting results.
One phone for the price of two? A Chillicothe man says he's been disputing with the phone company over this for months.
Troubleshooters, Tuesday at 10 on Heart of Illinois ABC. Local, social.
During our Black Friday sale at Bob Grimm Chevrolet, you can save big on every new Chevy. Silverado is the #1 selling truck in Central Illinois, and during our Black Friday sale, you can save $10,000 to $13,000 on every 2019 Silverado in stock. Find new roads to Bob Grimm Chevrolet and more, or find us anytime at bobgrimmchevrolet.com.
Heart of Illinois ABC, bringing you in-depth reporting.
I want to do this story because there are 800,000 people in Illinois that are in line to have their records cleared.
Reports you won't see anywhere else.
I talked to researchers and I talked to cheerleaders about how much intentional work is being done to protect athletes.
Stories important to you.
I hope the viewers understand the process of a seasonal forecast. It's very different than our 7-day forecast.
Heart of Illinois ABC, local, social.
Do you have an outstanding teacher that deserves special recognition? I'm Heart of Illinois ABC's Joe Puma. Nominate your favorite teacher for the Heart of Illinois ABC and CEFCU's One Class at a Time $1,000 grant.
Congratulations, Elena Keyser from St. Thomas Junior High in Peoria Heights. You're our One Class at a Time $1,000 grant winner. Heart of Illinois ABC and CEFCU's One Class at a Time $1,000 grant. Go to HOIABC.com to make your nomination. Heart of Illinois ABC, local, social.
During our Black Friday sale at Bob Grimm Chevrolet, you can save big on every new Chevy. Equinox is the #1 selling crossover in Central Illinois, and during our Black Friday sale, you can save $6,000 to $7,000 on every new Equinox. Find new roads to Bob Grimm Chevrolet and more, or find us anytime at bobgrimmchevrolet.com.
Let's go to Jeff Fritzen, our public address announcer here at Husky Stadium.
Now the second place trophy will be presented to the Red Devils of Murphysboro, who finished the season with a final record of 11 wins and 3 losses. And now Superintendent Tom Lind, Principal Patrick Enright, Athletic Director Christy Martin, Coach Mike Knoll, and the captains of champion Richmond-Burton. A special medallion will be presented to the administrators and individual awards will be presented to Coach Knoll and his team captains. This year's state championship Class 4A team trophy will be presented to the Rockets of Richmond-Burton, who finished the season with a final record of 14 wins and no losses.
There's your championship team holding that championship trophy. But, you know, moments while we were in the break, there was another championship moment, I thought, Mark. It was after the two teams went through their handshake line. The Murphysboro players turned and walked towards their stands and raised their hands, thanking their fans for what they have done in the sport they've given them this year.
Yeah, the support all year. And how about the support tonight? You're talking about over 400 miles and Thanksgiving weekend, and the Murphysboro fans really turned out. It'll be a long drive back up 55 as far as the lights are concerned, because they traveled really well.
It's only going to be a 60-mile journey back to the Richmond-Burton area, and the Rockets going to put another trophy in their trophy case, and they'll have a pretty fancy one here in 2019. 1992 is the last time they won a state title. They came up a game short of getting to the championship game last year. They lost the semifinals to IC Catholic. However, that loss was avenged in the quarterfinals this year with the 10-point win over IC Catholic, and they bring it home here tonight. Boy, did they bring it home in dominating fashion in the semifinals against a Coal City team that many folks figured to win this 4A championship. They defeated them 30-0, and then here ran out to the big lead, the 40-plus point lead, before giving up a point.
Well, junior quarterback trigger man Jacob Huber ran the offense, but it was Nicholas Legnioli that really got the job done tonight in all facets. He's just a junior. Guajardo just a junior. Dalton Wood, the only skill guy that's a senior on this football team. So they'll already look ahead to next year.
Dalton Wood's one of the people down there right now with Derek Bain.
Yeah, we're here with the state champion Richmond-Burton Rockets, Coach Mike Knoll. The back of your now wet shirt says finish. We talked about that going into the half. How proud of you are of the way your guys did that in the second half?
Yeah, I thought first play of the second half, Nick returns the ball for a touchdown, and I think that just set the tone, and we played a great second half. I mean, our kids, we've played really good, like 3-4 weeks in a row. You can't. Our whole thing is stick to the process, play our best football in November, and we've done that.
Legs, you do a little bit of everything for this team. Just doing it on the biggest stage, what does it mean for you in this community?
It feels great. It's a great atmosphere. Everyone came out to support us, and it feels amazing playing with these guys, and they got my back, I got their back. It feels great.
Dalton, you're a senior going out as a state champ. What does that mean for you?
It's great knowing that all the hard work I've put in, along with the rest of my teammates, all the coaches, that over the past several years that I've been playing and they've been coaching, the rest of them are playing, that it's finally paid off in a good way.
Coach Knoll, you've been doing this a long time, almost 3 decades, a state champ for the first time. What does it mean to you?
I'm just, it'll sink in at some point, but I'm just really proud of our kids. You know, I mean, we have such a tight team. We have unity. The kids work so hard. I mean, they stick to the plan, and I'm just so proud of them.
To do it in such dominant fashion, does that make it even more special?
So. I mean, it's, those type of games are hard to coach late because they kept their starters in, but I'm so proud of our kids. I mean, we blew them out in the state championship game. So, yeah, I'd say we've played as good a football as we could play the last 3 weeks.
All right, guys, I'll let you go celebrate. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you.
All right, congratulations to the 4A state champion Richmond-Burton Rockets in the first state championship for head coach Mike Knoll.
All right, thank you very much, Derek. And indeed, it was a big-time victory. 50-14, your final here from Husky Stadium, your 4A state championship ball game. We'll be back and get things wrapped up here and get you all set for tomorrow. A big day of football here at Husky Stadium tomorrow.